Yeah, let me send us live so that you can talk about this. I'm so excited to have you talk about this. I love letting you talk about the anime awards. It's my favorite
No,
pastime.
don't let me do it, John. It's a bad idea.
Oh, you have
Guys, it's the Demon Slayer Awards Part 2, this time featuring solo leveling, and also more Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer only got like one thing this year.
I got like 2 or 3, I thought.
It did.
Yeah,
It
but
did
one
get
of
a
them
couple.
was-
A lot of them were voiced.
It-
I
It
thought.
was voice stuff.
It did take best continuing series, which is crazy.
What else was in
Isn't
that
this
category?
also kind of mid? Like, I don't watch Demon Slayer, so I'm not sure.
What
but
I
I heard
understand,
from
this
Amber-
season wasn't very good.
It
Yeah.
starts off really.
Still
Because
Demon
it's the
I have-
it's the Hashira training season, right?
Still
That was
Demon
this
Slayer.
season. I understand, like nothing happens in it, like overall, except for like the final episode, where the funny Infinity Castle thing happened. Bless you. Wait, let's bring up the list. Let's see how many things I'm mad at. All of them, anyway.
Yeah.
That's a lie. I'm happy about literally everything Freerun won, because it deserved all of
which
those. I
wasn't
haven't
enough,
finished
by the
Freerun,
way.
and it
Which
deserves
wasn't
all
enough
of those.
things.
Again, it's crazy how Anime of the Year could have gone to all 5 of the other things, and I would have been fine with it.
Like,
I guess. Do I think Kaiju is a bit of a step down from like Dungeon Meshi Freer and Apothecary? Yeah. But like I still really liked Kaiju.
I still think it's an adaptation of fucking rules.
Yeah. Again, I still think it's phenomenal. I think it absolutely I would have been happy if it got it. Right, movie I watched one of these and I heard
What?
Look Back was
What took
amazing.
it? Wasn't
It was
Look back.
wasn't Boy and the Heron in here?
Yes. So,
It was not.
Oh, okay.
Or
Oh.
it wasn't, at least it wasn't nominated.
Okay. I thought
Um,
it was, but
But from what I understand, Look Back is one of the greatest movies like ever. Because
It's
Look Back
really
was already a
good.
really good one shot.
I know
so,
people really like Look Back. Yeah, I won't. I
yes,
won't knock-
continuing series went to Demon Slayer, where it overtook Bleach, My Hero Season 7.
Okay, sorry. I don't care
One
who
Piece.
I don't care who the fuck you are. You do not beat Thousand Year Blood War in fucking ongoing
Yo.
series. Like even like
Uh,
I know where we're at in One Piece, an even stronger argument for it not to go to Demon Slayer. That's
Oh,
actually
man.
insane.
Season 7, this is also probably
One
the
Piece
best
included
part of My Hero, except like
Egghead.
Season 2.
Ah.
Yeah, this is also late Egghead. This would have been most of Egghead. Oshinoko
No, it's
Season
mostly,
2,
like-
which covers the entire play.
Wait, this had
Um,
Roger's arc, didn't it? In Egghead, like this last year? Or no, Roger Baxter
I
was
don't
like
know.
2 years ago in anime, right?
yeah.
Well, Roger Baxter, it's also. And it's probably from the Season 2,
Who
which
fucking cares,
people
bro?
weren't
It's
caring
still,
about.
like,
so I
fun.
think it's
Let's continue.
season-
Best drama not going to the show, literally about doing a drama play, is really funny to me.
I mean, Freerun
also
is
agree that
Freerun
Freerun
is
better.
probably the best
but,
drama
like,
in like
I just think
years.
it's funny that Oshinoko is literally about filming a drama or like a stage play of a
Oshi-
drama.
Oshinoko was never gonna take an award given how the fan base has flipped on it manga end. It doesn't matter that
It
it
was
has
so
nothing to
fun.
do with the anime. Like the
Oh, yeah,
majority-
it was so fun, bro.
I agree with you, but the majority of Oshinoko fans would have fucking burn him at the stake. I don't.
Solo
Yeah.
leveling, taking
He
best
didn't give us a
action
happy
over.
ending.
Solo
Yeah, so-
leveling taking best action over. Let's see.
Best
Doing
action
lists
is
off real fast.
best action is
Bleach.
Best action's soft.
okay. Yes, Bleach. I would give it to it, but like this is the
Bleach.
category I would let solo leveling take. Like
Windbreaker is in
agree.
here.
I would still.
None of solo leveling Season 1 fights are as interesting, action-wise, as anything Windbreaker does.
Was season
Yes.
2 not
And
included
I am
in it?
also not even that big on Windbreaker.
Wait,
Like, Windbreaker was good.
this
But
was
its
just rolled
action
in
was the
season
best
1.
part of it.
Its action was sick.
So my problem is like it's supposed to be solo leveling season 1, but the problem is
Yes.
like everyone at this point was watching season 2 during or
Yes.
finished season 2
Yeah.
during the vote.
It's the
So
same
also
thing that
season
happened
2.
with JJK Season 2. Is that it was supposed to be only the hidden inventory section, which is still a phenomenal show.
Yes.
But people were talking about the Shibuya stuff, including the clips they used when presenting it showed Shibuya incident scenes.
Mhm.
But wow, new series was the exact same 6 shows as Anime of the Year, and Solo Leveling also took that one for
Yep.
no reason.
I mean, again, this
Ninja
was my.
Kamui,
No,
Yeah,
I
guess
don't
Inugami
agree
deserved
with
it over Buchigiri.
You're correct.
But,
Yes,
like,
that would be the only worst outcome we could have
There
had
are
here.
4 other things here that I at least had some enjoyment of. And then also Girls Band Cry was
I think what
But-
it literally comes down to is the action sluts only watched one of those 6 shows, and the other one were watched by like multiple people watched multiple of those shows, so the votes got more diverse.
Again-
and whereas all the action sluts only watched the one action show and voted for the one action show.
What is crazy is that, like, I talked to people who watched Ninja Kamui, and they really liked the beginning of it. So I find it really hard to believe. I actually think that that's not the problem. I think the problem is, say it with me, Girls Band Cry has CGI in it.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
CG, so 70% of anime fans see it and immediately turn
Put in
away.
perspective, though, Solo
And the
Leveling
other
won-
competition was Jellyfish, that isn't a show after episode 5.
Which, again, yeah,
Train, which
fan-
is
a
something,
show.
and Metallic Rouge, which loses steam after episode 5.
Yeah, Solo Leveling won Best New Series, Best Action, Best Main Character. Again,
That
whatever.
if there's
Best
anything that
EA,
if there's
whatever.
anything that I think is insane, it's Solo Level and
It's-
taking
it's
best
Sunjin Woo
main
taking-
Best
character.
ED,
Yeah.
really?
That-
Best
I-
OST? Are you kidding me?
Oh, you gotta remember.
Its
Okay,
OST was good.
it's
Sawano's
it's
good.
a-
it's a
Like I
solid
said,
OST.
Frieren also was fucking killer.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
that is the show that I think should take
Anime
OST.
of the year? Really over for year in season 2?
The funny thing with Protagonist is I think because there was a video I watched on Soul Loving forever ago that did this kind of joke. Sung Jin Woo is a really cool character. Sadly, you lose him after episode 1.5, and he
Mhm.
turns
Yes.
into Sung Drip Woo, who is a different character. Because he loses any amount of personality he
To
had
be fair,
after he gains the god powers.
I mean,
Or the
Sung
powers
Jin
of the
is also
statue.
pretty cool. He's pretty silly.
He doesn't have a personality. His personality
That's
is,
okay.
hey guys, I'm really strong.
That's okay.
That's
like,
it.
he's strong and he has 6-pack now and
It's-
attracts high schoolers. Wait a minute.
The problem is
Including his sister. Wait a minute.
the bigger problem. This is the
Okay,
problem.
that's
This
just a
is
fan
this
thing.
is
That's a
where
fan
yeah, this is
thing
where the
only.
inflation's coming in. We have problems here. Not good.
If you want to learn about the inflation of soul leveling, Google soul
Yes,
leveling
please
inflation.
Oh wait, no,
thank
no,
you.
don't do.
No, I just
Whoa!
because I know what Freeren's in that category.
Which category are we talking? Oh,
Main character. Freeren's in that
character.
category.
Both
It's
Okarun and I
Wow.
can't remember her name.
Momo.
Momo.
Yeah,
Momo
and
should be in
Momo
that
and
category.
Mao Mao.
Momo should be in there.
Yeah, it's crazy that over Mao Mao even.
I'm gonna say
Momo's so fucking.
Momo's such a base character, bro.
I
Yeah,
also saw
her
people
or Freeman.
complaining that Blue Box took romance, and I want them to watch more shows.
Sorry.
Yes.
I want them to just like
What else
Like,
was in
like
that?
that-
What else was in that category?
People were complaining Dangers of My Heart didn't take it.
I mean, people really like it. That's fair. I mean,
Yeah, my
that's
issue
great, but
is
I like them to
it-
try
Blue Box.
happiness for once.
Yeah, like my issue, like I guess Dangers of My Heart gets good. If the first 3 episodes make me want to gouge my eyes out, maybe you should fix them.
what else is in
I
that?
don't know,
What
this-
else was in? Was here? Was
Sign- so
Machine in there?
Sign of so Sign of Affection, Blue Box, Machine,
That's rough.
Ranma, Scott
That-
Pilgrim,
see,
and
they-
Dangers in My Heart.
This is rough. That's a really good. Again, that's one that any show could take, and I wouldn't have a problem
Yeah.
with it. Arguably,
Yeah.
Not, like haven't seen Dangers in My Heart, so I would be like, I think that's not true. But like, Machine
Seeing
could've-
Ranma's Ranma
Machine
is just
could've took
weird. I
that.
guess it is.
yeah,
I
Rama's
haven't
Rama's
seen- I don't know anything
100% of
about
Rama.
Ranma.
100% of
Rama's
Rama.
It's funny to
absolutely-
call it that.
Must
The
protect
core crux
category
of it is-
also should have gone to our favorite deaf protagonist, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a very must tag.
In terms of must protect category, I love Anya.
Well, this is the problem. You shouldn't allow
She's
Spy
already
Family in
protected.
the category multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care what season it's on. Fucking get out of here.
Anyways, what else have you guys been up to?
I'm playing Persona 3.
Weekend or this past like Escape had double experience, so I've played a lot of Escape. Also played some Doom the Dark Age, really fun. Adding a parry to that game adds track of, and it's a lot of
You are cutting out a lot.
A little bit.
fun. God,
Adding a parry to some game. did something
Doom the
fun.
Dark Ages. I can make.
Yeah.
I could make out
I heard
what
you
he's
said
saying,
Doom the
but-
Dark Ages. Or, I
I-
heard the Dark Ages.
There we
in a
go.
row.
Yeah,
how
now you
about
go.
that?
on May 6th, I purchased Clair Obscure Expedition 33. I've already gotten all the trophies and finished the game. Fucking masterpiece, by the way. The one trophy I missed is there's an optional fight in like the prologue of the game that I just
Yes.
like didn't find,
I have been
so I
told
just
about
start-
this.
and so I just start a new game after beating the game on New Game Plus and just go fight that little mini boss, and then I won. I did pretty much every single part of that game on my own. The only thing I did is once I hit level 99, before I fought the last like extra boss that I'm not gonna spoil, I did look up some of the broken builds because I wanted to try them for funsies. And man, there's some silly stuff you can do. Because that game has a gun ability similar to Persona, and you can like get certain action points similar to like your Bravely Default system, right? There's one thing that gives you, it's called Energy Master. It makes it so every energy like rewarding thing gives double that, which is like that bar up to 9.
That's a problem.
And so here's the thing: there's one that says 20% of your shots give you an energy back. They each cost an energy; they give one back. And then on top of that, you can also get one, so it'll give you 2 back every 20% of those shots. And there's another one that's like when you first crit on a turn, you get a shot back or an energy back. Well, then I get 2 for that too. So you literally open a battle with just a Gatling gun going, and then you have one that a Pictos that lets you play again. So then you start your turn again and shoot down to 2, and now you're already all the way up to S rank with this character in like this like Devil May Cry type thing. And then you use an ability that gives you bonus damage up to 10 stacks for however many shots you've done, which you've done way more than 10 at this point. So sometimes you just win the fight with one character and just a gun, and it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I highly recommend that game. If you
this
haven't
is
played it, go play it blind. Don't look up anything about it. Just go play
Yeah.
it. It's fucking awesome.
This is
The-
another
the
example.
OST is just
This is another example of a thing at another award show later in the year that will almost certainly upset me in some degree. Because I haven't
This
touched
isn't
I
Game of the Year.
haven't touched that game.
ooh.
I don't this is
You
a
probably won't,
this is
but-
a crazy good year for Game of the Year for what it's worth. Like there's tons of incredible stuff. I'm sorry, I have not seen such praise for a game like Clair Obscura. Like I'm sorry, it should just go to it. I'm not like
Yeah.
Blueprints is
everything right.
Blueprints is incredible. Wilds is really fun. Like there's tons of great games. Doom the Dark Ages is really good. We're gonna have other stuff that's coming out that's also gonna be good this year. I'm sorry, you're just not gonna be that.
Death Stranding 2 is this year.
Everyone's
Hollow
Yeah.
Knight
playing.
Silk Song comes out this.
Sure,
Does it
sure,
actually?
sure it does.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Well,
Here's the thing:
they
is
gave us
you've
a
had
day.
people-
Sure they did. They believe.
My logic with that is you've had people who have played these other games. They've played Doom Eternal. They've played a shit ton of Monster Hunter Wilds, and they go, "Yeah, no, this is the game of the year for me." Like easy.
Dark Ages, by the way, but
The story's
Okay.
really good. The gameplay is fantastic. The gameplay loop doesn't get old even after 55 hours in Chuck's notes, like 5 sessions.
Oh, then the
man,
game's
I just-
short.
Fucking love my L.
I also
She's
just-
so
We
I
play
also-
Persona games.
I also just can't. But like you just
I'm
cannot
at
sell me.
72. I have 3 days on the
it was
Xbox. I
55
have
hours for
23.
me to do everything the game has to offer except for get an ending difference. You know, like where it's like, but in order to do that, you have to play through the entire like 25-hour story. Technically, the speed runs down to like under 2 hours, but that's a whole nother argument.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah,
count
some
that.
nonsense.
The speed run does some things called walking in places you shouldn't. As
Yeah,
most
Blueprints is like 3 minutes
Listen.
if you
Yeah.
know the speedrun route.
walls are optional sometimes in game design, and unfortunately, that's just how it works. It's like the Ratchet and Clank logic of the map is a circle, and sometimes if you can just cut to the end of the circle, you cut to the end of the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that game was super awesome. I don't want to spoil much about it because it's just really good to experience. And then actually going and finding the collectibles is really rewarding because it's
Mhm.
like it's story, and it just like gives such personality to the rest of the game. Is all I'll say.
That is what I've
Like,
heard.
it's just-
Oh god! Oh god! Did you see that?
You okay?
All
How
All right,
are you?
Amber.
Everybody say hi to Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Hi. All right. Anyways, you guys. I'm
Mason-
done going to Expedition 33 for the week.
What have you been up to?
So,
Take 2.
Like I said, Doom, RuneScape. I'm almost finished with Dawn Trail in 14. Man, that is the most backloaded expansion I've ever seen, but oh my lord, it ends up being really good. Trying to think of anything else I've done. I've gotten a bit further in Witch Hat Atelier. That manga is incredible. I got caught up, aside from today's stuff, on most of my manga. Everything coming out lately has just been stellar, honestly.
Agreed.
Yeah. I don't know. Work has been a lot, so I haven't been able to do much.
I'll do my quick run through. I am caught up on all my Shonen Jump stuff, with the exception of Marshall King and Sidcraft, because I tend to bulk Sidcraft and then just read it in a blitz when I feel like it. I just haven't been keeping it with Marshall King. I'm like 2 chapters behind, probably, maybe just 1. John, I said this. We can't talk about it because Michael's not here yet. This is the first time in a long time that I've read a One Piece chapter and I went, no, Oda, I don't believe you had this plan. This is bullshit. You pulled this out of your ass. I refuse to believe that this character connection exists and that you had this thought from the character's introduction. Kagurabachi's very good.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yep,
yes.
I know what you're talking about. It hit me, I'm like, what's up with Goblin? And I'm like, oh, that one.
Yeah. Itchy the Witch has a fucking insane panel this week. that
God, Ichi the Witch is going off this whole arc.
Tour of the Flame has started. I'm probably saying that wrong. It's fucking Viking.
I enjoy it.
It's good. It feels like it's going a little fast in the typical shonen like structure. Like I don't know, I don't know when in Demon Slayer chapter count you hit Tanjiro going to train. Like I know it's early. I do know he goes to train early. Like his first training set. But I feel like from the bit of the anime I've seen, it takes him a little bit to get there. I can't imagine it's chapter 3 he gets there. Chapter 3 into going to your person to train feels really fast. But hey, I don't blame them necessarily. You gotta do what you gotta do to exist in Shonen Jump. Ultimate Exorcist is rad. I will continue to believe that. Blue Box has been very nice the past couple of weeks.
Big true.
Akata Banashi's newest chapter is fucking rad as fuck. It's so good. I love it. I'm very excited about this arc. They're playing Airsoft in Kill Blue. That's actually really enjoyable.
That's pretty fucking
It
good.
is. So, Michael, to explain this to you, I can't think of his name right now. Who's the main character of Kill Blue?
It starts with it's like Ogata or something.
Yeah, Ogami. Basically, Ogami gets challenged to an airsoft game, and he goes, I can't go all out and carry the home ec club, because if I do, they're gonna figure out I'm a hitman. So he goes, okay, guys, I'm gonna teach you how to play airsoft, and by that I mean I'm gonna teach you how to shoot a gun, and he babies everybody, and then all of the home ec club goes, no, fucking stop babying us, teach us how to use a goddamn gun, and then they immediately regret that decision. And they finally actually started playing the airsoft, and it's rad. I really like what Shinobi's doing right now. It feels insane that we're on the chapter count we are for Shinobi. That doesn't...
Yeah.
Like, same thing with Ichi the Witch. Like, it does not feel real that those are the chapter numbers we're at, but we are. Elusive Sam...
Like both of those ones feel like they could both end at any time and also go on for the next 3 years.
I do hope they both go on for a good amount of time.
Same.
Elusive Samurai has, once again hit the part of its story where it goes, characters that have been around for a while, gone. We're done with them now. Which is good for it. Embers is Embers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not exactly this manga going fast. This one, oh my god, there has been like no character interaction on the team between them at all, and it feels like we're in like a story arc we would have got like at like chapter 50 or 60 in a sports manga.
It's just been game after game after game.
And the games aren't long. It's like
2 chapters.
Himaten's very good right now.
Yes.
I'm enjoying this arc.
I like our
Imagine your
character
soccer
a
games
lot.
being only 2 chapters.
I know, right? Fucking crazy.
Looks at Bastion Yunshin versus PXG. 50-something chapters.
Yeah.
That game took a whole fucking year in real time.
Star Beethoven, I'm actually really liking the direction it's gone the past couple of weeks. I'm really interested in what it's doing. It feels a little weird. It like the way it shifted to like an odd story beat that I thought was weird like 2 weeks ago, but I've enjoyed it and I'm interested. I am behind on a lot of my manga plus shit. What I will say, the manga that I do want to talk about The two that I'll talk about this week of the things I am reading on Manga Plus that I think are worth talking about. Stellar Friends. I haven't read, I think, the last 2 chapters, which means I haven't gotten the fucking knife in the chest that is one of these chapters. But I don't think I've talked about Stellar Friends at all. Stellar Friends is a battle royale manga. The premise of it is that shooting stars come down to Earth, and a bunch of people get chosen by these shooting stars. And there's only actually supposed to be one shooting star on a planet, but a bunch of them have come down. And so for everybody to keep, for the person who actually gets to keep their wish, they have to go and destroy the other people's wishes by destroying their star.
Isn't that just the Rapture?
Sure. The main character Yoda's wish is to bring back his childhood friend who has died. One of the other characters they meet has brought back her pet cat. We had the aftermath of that. We had that battle happen. I'm not a fan. That hurts. This manga is an odd amount of like strange body horror stuff as well. Like it does some funky shit in there. Completely other direction. Home at the Horizon has 6 chapters out. This is a story about a kid who helps his grandfather run a public bath, and a kid shows up who is his stepbrother from his dad having cheated on his mom. And the kid has come here to be like, hey, like, my family situation is bad. Your dad should be here to help me. And the main character goes, my dad's dead. What do you want to do? Why don't you stay with us and work at the bathhouse? It's really good for 6 chapters. It's a very nice, wonderful, slow story. I have then started reading 2 things that survived the purge of manga decks. Unfortunately, Awashi's not one of those, so I'm not currently reading that. The 2 things I am reading that did survive are things that I watched when they came out a while ago now, that I have finally decided to give a read to, and those are Parallel World Pharmacy and Black Summoner. I'm enjoying both of those reads. I have not gotten to the point where I'm past where the first season of the anime were for either of them. But I'm very excited. I have forgotten a lot of things about those shows that I really enjoy. And the last thing I will say is I picked up 3 volumes of a manga, physically. Michael knows what these are. I picked up Peak.
Ooh,
Picked
hell
up
yeah.
the first 3 volumes of Peak. There's like 10 of these out. I need to get the rest of them. Mason, I have bad news for you.
Yeah.
It's ending on its next volume in September. Which means we probably have like 2 chapters left, maybe 3 at most.
Honestly.
Which
So
is
it's probably just finishing off the
yes.
It's
the
finished.
contest.
It's probably
Finish,
we're probably
finish
gonna get
this, get
a-
an epilogue
yeah,
chapter.
it's probably gonna get like June,
Yeah.
July, maybe August if we're lucky. Which is not necessarily surprising because I always felt like this manga could either keep going and do more at the next competition or just end here. Like it was
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
really, and I have no knowledge about whether this is happening because they've been said you're done or whether it's because they just got to a point where they said this is all we want to do. I don't know. I physically cannot tell you. It's sad, but I mean, I won't be as sad about it ending as I was Green Greens because I'll probably actually get a really good ending here. Not that
This would be a good ending.
Green
And
stops
then
at
that means that
okay spot.
they can get
but-
animated, and I can tell people, hey, read this whole thing, and then they can go read Peak, and then
God, that's it for me. Michael, you've been playing Persona 3 Reload.
yeah, Persona 3 Reload. Yeah, it's a pretty good video game.
Mhm.
Yeah. I finally hit what I consider the part of the game. This game does have a minor problem to me, which is, boy, are the first 4 months of gameplay just absolutely nothing until you hit July, until you hit the summer break. You are literally just going, okay, so here's the cast member. Oh, we're going to go to Tartarus. Oh, it's a full moon. Go fight the shadow. Oh, look, another cast member. Go full moon, fight the shadow. July hits and they go, plot. Here's the fucking plot now, motherfuckers.
Correct.
Then you're like, oh shit, wait, we're locked in now. And yeah, then the
It-
game starts getting really good.
It makes a lot of sense that 4 and 5 pivoted their stories to being the forefront right away.
Mhm.
Yeah, 5,
They-
you start and they go, Here's a palace. Go fucking fight it. Have fun.
4 doesn't drop you into combat right away, but you are dropped into the story of 4 right away.
Yeah.
3 takes a bit, but I think it overall sticks the landing the best.
Yo,
I mean,
Yo, Michael, does this mean when you beat this game, we can go watch the movies?
Maybe.
Yes, please. Those movies are. I've heard they're peak, and I've not been able to watch them yet.
But yeah, this game's really good. I'll probably buy the answer or the DLC answer thing after I'm done with it. Probably.
Yeah, I guess stuff.
Yeah. The episode I guess shenanigans. But outside of that, I haven't really done much. 2 things have come out that I wanted to play. One of them I was stopped because I was playing Persona 3 and didn't feel like opening up another RPG. The other is Splitgate 2 is out. And that game's servers have been exploding.
But Michael,
They were not ready for people to be ready to play this game.
But Michael, 100 Line Defense Academy also came out.
Yeah, that's again. I'll get to that one eventually, maybe.
You have so much time.
Possibly.
You have so much time between their next game release and that. Well, that's not true because
Hey,
you have the AI Somnium game coming out.
Yeah, No Sleep for Konami Date is probably not going to be a very long game.
Probably not.
I mean, not like the Eye of the Sun films are particularly long. It's like a 20-hour game at best.
Yeah, but like 100 Line Defense Academy is gonna take you an entire year and a half to play.
Yeah, apparently, I gotta get all 100
Yeah.
endings.
All
or whatever
100
it is that are
endings
in
of this game.
it. The 100 is really supposed to mean the amount of days you have in game. No, it's actually the amount of endings in the game.
Kodaka Ushikoshi, why do you guys think that if this game bombs, it's gonna kill your studio? What did you cook? Oh my god!
They cooked the entire.
They cooked
Okay,
it.
so the other thing that came out, Mason, I don't know if you heard about this. The DLC for Sea of Stars is out. Throws of the Watchmaker.
I heard about that. I need to play it
So
still.
yeah, I do want to get into that. I just need to put down Persona 3 to do that, and I don't feel like going into another turn-based RPG with a different battle system to go back to Persona 3.
That's fair. No, I
Listen.
understand.
Listen, you want another turn-based RPG? Do I have something for you?
We know, John.
I
We
have,
know.
I have it
Three
downloaded. It's-
sides.
Yeah, it's sitting right there. Clair Obscure is right there. I don't want
Yeah,
to play
I
Triangle
Oh,
also
no, I was
have
gonna
it
say
here.
triangle strategy.
I know. I heard.
I
you
also
say
have
three-
that. I also have that. I have so much shit I gotta play.
Wait, hang on. Did someone mention turn-based strategy games
no.
similar to Travelers when there's 8 of them?
God damn.
Oh my god.
John,
Okay,
you
I'm on a
got John,
path.
you got fed like a week ago. You got fed screenshots from Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, I don't give a shit about that, bro. I don't know. I, don't
I
think
care
it's
about Kingdom Hearts 4.
I do
Okay,
too.
I don't
well,
have a PS5.
fine. It's not real yet. I don't believe it.
It looks pretty real to me.
Yeah, they canceled
No, it's
Dark
not
Road or whatever it was called.
Yeah,
They
they
canceled
killed-
Dark Road. So like shit. Put on the trailer. Put on the trailer. Quick. Silence the masses. Put on the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. There's like 6 minutes of gameplay, but like, sorry, it looks like shit. 6 minutes of gameplay. Put it out now. Go. All 7 people that were excited for this mobile game are riding in the streets.
Hey, those 7 people are
Hyper is losing his
Has the
those
loss.
7
So
people are really invested, John.
I know.
They're too
I
invested.
had a friend that was really pissed about it. Not Swift.
Really?
Friend of Swift and I's.
There
That's
it
one of
is.
Swift's roommates.
Adjacently related.
Other thing that happened was I played D&D on Thursday. We were in hell. So here's the bad news. Everything's going really well. And that's the bad news.
Uh-oh.
Because everybody else did their challenges last week on Thursday, except for me and Vinny, who have to go through a maze together. And so we're expecting our rolls to be the most dog shit you've ever fucking
No,
seen.
Sean, here's the thing. What you don't know is in between sessions, because the other ones went through so easy, they're like, that was way too easy. We can't let them all go super easy.
No,
Let's change some of these stat blocks and
So,
DCs real quick.
I
and-
cannot express to you. First thing that happens, Dylan's bard starts playing chess. He wins a game. He's playing dragon chess. He wins a game. Or cleric then goes and does nightmare horse racing and fucking demolishes. I've never seen a man roll so goddamn well, and like the AI enemies controlled by the DM do so fucking poorly at a minigame. And then and then we go back to Dylan to win another round of chess. And then we go to our fighter who 1v1s a Dark Empyrean in the Colosseum. I kid you not, that man's rolls were the most cracked I've ever seen. So his sword crits on a 19, and I think, crit at least 8 times that fight. Which you have to understand, he has a Flame Tongue Greatsword, and Painless does his crit damage as you roll the dice and then add the max damage you would have done from an attack. So so every die you roll just instant gets maxed, and then you roll the dice again, essentially is how he does his crits. So this man is rolling a Greatsword's damage die, plus another Greatsword's damage die, because it's a Flame Tongue. Except instead of fire, it's force damage, because his weapon's fucking insane. Yeah, no, he's fucking... Look, he had to die to get that. Let's be very clear. Bad things had to happen for him. He had to die, and I had to throw away my character's entire future for him to get that sword. It was worth it. And then Dylan went back and lost his last game of chess, which had my favorite moment, which was before he went in to do that game of chess, my character went, hey, I learned a little thing about this. The person who you're fighting at the end here is the one who runs this chess gambling hall, and she will probably make you bet very dangerous things, so be careful if you don't think you can't win, that you don't bet something. 1 second.
OMG, it's his next problem.
Tigers won today, by the way, Mason.
Huge.
Oh, there it goes.
They need this one. They lost 3 in a row to Cleveland.
Thank
There's-
God that they won.
They lost 3 of 4 to Cleveland. They're still 4 games ahead of everybody else in the division.
Yeah, I was about to say they're like second in the league right now, right?
Yeah, the second best team in Major League Baseball right now. Period.
Yeah.
First in AL, or like tied.
And who's leading right now again?
I think the Phillies are now. I just checked
Yeah.
it today because they played more games. But to put in perspective how good Scuba was today, he threw what is called a Maddox, which is a complete game shutout. And he did it in fewer than 100 pitches with 13 strikeouts, which means he struck out half of the outs in the game, allowed 2 hits, and pitched a shutout for the other 14 outs in under 100 pitches, which, if you do the math, 27 times 3 is already like 70, 81 pitches.
It's 60. Yeah, 81.
So that would be if you struck out everybody. And he didn't. He still struck out half, which is still insane. And you're not going to pitch the minimum, but like, yeah, that was just like, I was watching it throughout playing Pokemon today, and I was like, Jesus, Scooble's a morning person, because they started at like 11:45, and it was probably the most dominant pitching performance I've seen in my life. It was just brutal. Topping off with a 102 fastball on the last strikeout of the game. Just disgusting.
Yeah, so
Hey, Sean, welcome back.
yeah, well, let me
Is someone
finish.
trying to kill
Let me.
you?
No, my nephew needed me to turn on the shower.
Oh.
Let me finish this anecdote, and then we'll jump into anime. But so I tell Dylan in character, I'm like, you should be careful what you bet against her, because you could like bet your soul, and that would be really bad. We do the entire arena combat. We come back to him, and he sits down to play the game of chess. He gets to make the first move. He loses the contested roll, and then his opponent does the next thing and wins the contested roll. So she's up 2-0, and it's 3 points to win. So it's not looking good. At which point Dylan goes, "What did we bet?" And I go, "You fucking idiot." I went, "You didn't." And Palin's as her DM goes, "Yeah, there's weird. You didn't put any betting chips down on the table." And I go, "Dylan, you fucking moron, you fucking idiot. I warned you." And the character he's playing against goes, "Oh, we bet ourselves." And then he loses, and she goes, "I'll take 60 of the money, please." And fucking Palin's just narrowly avoided giving Dylan a heart attack. He would have deserved it. Full on for fucking not listening to me. Welcome to my life
Painless is a
story
softie.
on the
Oh,
podcast.
bozo.
He fucking trounced him so bad in that game of chess that I think he was never going to make the first bet. Be it that
Were they
it'll
actually
only
playing chess, or was it just like DC checks for blundering?
there. So I can send you the stuff for it. He has like different checks you make for different styles of play. So like you have moves that you make
fine.
defensively, you have like a baiting maneuver, you have like a pure, you have like an aggressive maneuver, and then you have a check to cheat. As you do.
Baseball.
But with this, Michael, it's time.
finally get into it.
Oh, sorry. There's something we gotta do first. How did I
Yeah,
forget?
you do gotta shit.
I did.
This is gonna be a fucked power ranking, from what I understand.
Yeah, I would have to imagine.
There's some fun things in this. So this is my favorite week, as I always say. It's 3-3-3, baby. So let's quick go to the power ranking. There's some choices in here. Everybody's got like something that I think is gonna be talked about.
No, this is what I expected.
Mason, I want you to know I opened your power ranking, and my first thought was, did he switch his two witch shows? What the fuck happened? And I saw everybody else's power ranking. I went, okay, never mind.
I thought I dropped Witch Watch, but it ended up somehow in the same exact fucking spot.
So, I'm gonna give a caveat here as well. Umamusume did not get the same
No,
love
I know.
everything else did. Simply because I watched it last night at about 3 a.m. as I was falling asleep. So,
I mean,
Don't
for
worry,
what
it
it's
shows me
for what
some.
it's worth, I also like everything you have above it, so I'm not gonna be mad about it. I think it is crazy you have it there, but I'm not gonna be upset about it. I do think it's really funny that I'm the person who has Once Upon a Witch's death the lowest. I think that's really hilarious.
that is really funny.
But you're the only person who had it go minus this week.
Yes, which we'll talk about it. That is less than I think it was a bad episode, and more than I think everything else fucking ruled this week. That's above it.
I mean, that's fair. We had a lot of really good episodes.
Yeah. And I will say
And then
this:
some other shows happened this week.
I also contemplated really hard about whether or not I was dropping 2P Hero out of spot 1. We'll talk about it when we get there. But now we can, Michael. Now we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's Umamusume. His episode, essentially, like, 2 whole things happen, and a lot of it is just a really long set of conversations between characters, the contemplating things. So Umamusume, we're like, yeah, we're gonna go do this race, the whatever race, I don't remember. It's some regional race where they're at.
The first turf field.
Yeah, it's the first turf race
It's
that
the
I'm
Chukyo High.
Yeah, that.
that one. It doesn't particularly bad. We know this is the race this talked about in episode 4, and we know this is the race that one girl in purple is going to, because we didn't know her name until this episode. And I only remember half of her name.
That's okay.
I remember the Rudolph part of her name.
That's fair. That's all
but
you
yeah.
gotta know.
But yeah, so it's this race, and so we go to it. Joe's uncle is there. Kitahara Joe. Sorry, I gotta say the whole name. It's important. He goes there. We learn that she got new cleats made, new horseshoes, metal parts specifically for turf, because you need more grip, because you can't dig into turf, but you can dig into dirt, different things, and all. And they're there, and they're like, and Joe's like, Kitahara Joe is like, I don't know, it's gonna be kind of weird. She hasn't really raced on turf in a while. And his uncle's like, no, so he's like, I told you she shouldn't have raced in this, and he's like, oh no, I think she might lose it. She fucking smokes them. 2 full lengths ahead of second place.
And for what it's worth, before she does, his uncle's like, no, that's not the fucking problem here, my boy.
And as this finishes, we get into the uncle's head, and he goes, yeah, so the reason she shouldn't have raced here, she's that much better than everyone else in this region. And that means a spotlight's being put on her. And you don't quite understand why that's a problem at the time. Until upon this ending, Rudolph you see a person come and get Kitahara Joe, who goes,
Rudolph.
yeah, Symboli Rudolph. When a person like Secret Service comes and picks him up and goes,
Yeah.
hey, we need you, and he goes, what? He's invited up to where Symboli Rudolph's stuff is, and she goes, hey, you're a trainer, right? Yeah, she's really fucking good. I want her to join us on like the national stage as a national tier racer. And you're like, oh, that's sick. And he is terrified by this prospect. Like, it's like he's like, that's what I was scared about. It's like, okay, why is this a problem? Because the show holds back for a little bit exactly why this is a problem. Because we see that what the fuck is her name? Belno Light is here, kind of like listening in on the side. She's not supposed to be. She's eavesdropping. Kitahara Joe is not licensed to teach or to be a coach for national level racers. He doesn't have the level like experience as a coach or whatever for this. I don't know, just get a new license, dude. But I don't understand. They don't explain why he's not. They just say he's not. But essentially, this entire episode from that point revolves around him going, she should go to the Nationals. She deserves it. She's that good of a racer. And Oguri Cap goes, no, you're my coach. You are the reason I'm here. You taught me the way to do my spurts in the dirt. Like, I don't want to lose you as my coach. And it's a really, really good episode. The emotional bits that come out of that. Oguri Cap fucking kills it this episode as a character. Oh my god, I adored her.
She woke up.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We also cliffhang on she's gonna do another race, and March is gonna be there. And this might be the only silly thing about this. If she wins the race, she has to go to nationals. If she loses, she can stay. In the
And she's
regional
going to the
bracket.
Tokai Derby instead.
That
Yeah.
what a silly. What I understand this does work because like she is not the type of person who's going to throw a race. It just doesn't.
Mhm.
It just is not in her bones to throw a race.
Especially against March. She's
Yeah.
not going to throw a race.
Also, I'm sorry, quick thing. Only silly thing, Sean.
I agree.
We watched Belno make horseshoes for Ogre this episode.
Yeah, she's the artificer of the group. What do you mean?
I don't see the problem here.
True.
It runs in her.
What?
It runs in her family's blood. I don't see the.
It's almost like from the beginning they've been setting her up as the person who makes the materials, not as a racer. She's
She's
the
absolutely gonna go down a manager route, not a racing route, because that is
Yeah.
entirely what she's been doing. Like she is studying
she's
in
like
that
Reki
regard.
from Skate.
Yeah,
Exact same type of character plays.
it's rad. No, I think the line delivery on the Tokai Derby's Or Dream is rad as fuck. That shot goes hard. It's based. There was a little bit where I was like, I feel like I would have wanted a little more out of this episode, but I still really liked it, and I really enjoyed the dynamic here. I do think that Kinhara Joe needs to buck up and go, my racer doesn't want to race for you. Too bad. No. Like, I do understand he's being pressured, and the ideas are like, well, it's best for her to go to nationals. That's not always true.
Well, the thing is, he's also pressuring her to go to nationals, which is what I didn't like about this episode at
Yes.
the end. I don't like that he set an ultimatum that's like, hey, you can race, but if you win, then you have to go to nationals. Like, that's no. Like,
Should be if you win, you get to choose. You get to choose
let her
your.
choose.
your
It's her
outcome.
fucking life. Like, obviously, she's gonna choose to fucking do Tokyo Derby anyways, probably. But like,
Yeah.
it's super annoying. It's like just like stop creating this conflict. There doesn't need to be a conflict. She doesn't want to go.
I mean,
let her wait.
the real
Like-
problem is that he doesn't think he's a good enough coach because he's not.
No, he literally
at that
cannot
level.
coach
Yeah,
at
he
that
can't.
level right now. He's not licensed.
But there's also definitely like a level of like he does not think he is good enough
He doesn't
anymore.
belong.
Like as soon as nationals became a reality for her, he's like, I'm not a good enough coach.
He doesn't think he's the right coach. He thinks
Yeah.
that she's just the right racer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He feels like he's just getting. He feels like he's getting boosted as a coach for having like the best player in the league, basically. Right.
Hey,
Which
guess
is
what?
Partially true.
Hey, guess
but,
what?
Like,
Scouting's part of the job, and you did it. No one
He
else
was the
fucking.
only one who
Yeah,
scouted
no
her.
one else fucking looked at her.
but
Which is honestly wild with
That's it.
even with that with the performance she had.
And like I said, that's the only thing I didn't like about this episode, and that's okay. Because the rest of it's really good, like you said, and also she's just fucking smoking people, which is great. I love the bit with her making her horseshoes. That was really cute. Where they're like, she needs new horseshoes for this race, and she's like, I got you, and she comes up with like bricks of metal, and he's like, oh, we're doing this, I guess.
I was very tempted to at that point get this. I don't know what the screenshot is. I don't have the stream up. But I really wanted to just get a screenshot of just Belno holding, going, I got the aluminum alloy. That was in my.
It is good.
I was like, that's such a funny bit to just have. Just standing there out of context. I have it. I'm like, what?
It does make me think of the SAO bridge scene where they do the sword crafting and they do the fucking rhythm mini game for it of just
Yeah,
fucking
that's so
hardcore
good.
metal rock band. It makes you think that's what Baldo does. She just goes and just fucking plays rock band and
Mhm.
crafts horseshoes. No, I really like this episode. I just really enjoy the character dynamic between them, and I really like how Oguri acts as a character. It's wonderful. We also do get the little bit of the Mean Girls are training, they getting in it. They inspired. I think that's rad. Good for them.
What do you mean? They're not mean girls anymore. They're the dance instructor and the
And
friends.
her friends. Yeah. They're just the fucking they are just the friend group from Nagatoro, by the way. Full on.
Yeah, but without the borderline sexual assault.
Hey, give it time.
Yeah.
You never
Hey,
know.
I mean, Norn is very gay for her.
Then that's okay.
True.
There was something else in my brain that we got that I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we get the bit with the three of them with Norn, Pretty, and or Minnie, and I don't remember the blonde one's name.
And then March
just
is
go-
there too.
Yeah, because they all have the same
Yeah.
coach. She scouted all of them. Or
Well,
he
no, March
scouted
has March has the guy, and they have the
Oh.
woman.
Oh
were-
yeah,
they were
right,
just
yeah,
out-
She missed getting March.
Yeah, they were just out practicing.
And it's like, wow, Ogre's having that big of an impact on the school, getting these three chuckle fucks practicing.
We also do get confirmation here that having ashen-colored hair as an Umamusume is important. Because the idea is you're
Yeah.
not supposed to be able to run. And I think
If
we've
his
had them
legs
flat out.
suck.
Is March's hair also ashen or no? It's technically
No,
not.
she's
It's
like
white.
blue.
Yeah, it's like technically not the gray color, but also
Yeah.
the other racers is
Yes,
very
the other-
clearly in the gray set.
Yes. Well, no, and she is. They specify that she is,
Yeah.
because like she's the first one to have like turned around that stereotype. And we do get to see a little bit
Yeah.
of her cooking.
That's true.
I like this week. This was a good week for me.
I was gonna say.
Speaking
Horse
of a
girl
good-
go fast.
Speaking of a good week for a show, hey Mason.
So, My Hero Vigilantes. So we start off this week where we see Koichi when he's like first getting into college, where he's going out with some friends.
bit.
It's been so funny. He goes out to an izakaya with some friends, and they're like, "Oh man, like pretty tired, but like we kind of want to keep it going." And he's like, "Oh well, you guys can come over to my place, like that's fine." And he brings them to the absolute shithole that he lives in, and everyone gets freaked out because he's like, "No, it's fine, it's fine." And they're
It's just an
taking
abandoned
it
building.
yeah. And they are taking it as, oh yeah, he tried to like pull this girl into an abandoned building and was a creep, when that wasn't exactly what happened. And then we cut to present day where he has Pop and Knuckle Duster just being the absolute worst in his apartment, eating all of his stuff, ruining his things. It's fine. And then we cut to Pop Steps time, kind of. So we cut to a flashback where Koichi had, he's telling Pop Step that he has this full collection of all the All Might sweatshirts except for one, because he ended up giving it to a kid that he saved when he was like a teenager. This kid had fallen in the river, and Koichi jumped in to save them, didn't realize that it was actually really short, and the kid was probably fine, but ended up giving the sweatshirt away to like keep them warm and be okay. And then it turns out that was Pop Step the whole time, and she just hasn't given him the sweatshirt back because she hasn't found the right time to do it. She tries to do it, fails because Knuckle Duster shows up, I believe, and is the worst again. Haha, midway point card. Back half of this episode, one of the villains from last week gets out after being questioned about the drug that he was given, where he just tells the police, "Yeah, no, I have no idea. I've never met the person before. They just gave it to me. I didn't buy it or anything. They just handed it to me." He gets out, and our B girl Hachisuka corners him in an alley. He's like, "Hey, I got a new formula. You want to try it out?" Cut to him causing havoc in the road, in the city. They start. Koichi and Pop Step start fighting, and Knuckle Duster is not there because apparently he does in fact have a life.
Don't believe it.
Don't believe it. Koichi almost dies, and then they get saved by Stendhal. Definitely not Stain. Promise.
No, it's not. It couldn't be.
Oh,
He's
it's me, Mason. That's Stendhal.
yeah, it's Stendhal. It's not like the dub subtitles straight up call him Stain. They,
That's why you should
Straight
watch.
up.
That's why you shouldn't watch it dubbed.
it's really
That's-
funny.
Nah, Dennis don't watch with subtitles.
Straight up, it puts Stendhal and then in parentheses Stain.
That's crazy. That's so
it's
funny.
really funny.
I was like, I don't remember if that's exactly this is, but like I'm pretty sure because like that's very much what they're setting up. That's hilarious.
It's really funny. So he saves them, and the villain gets away for a bit. And Koichi's like, man, that guy was sick. He had a katana. He was so cool.
What if I had a katana?
What if I had a katana? That'd be sick. I'd be great. And then we cut to later on. Stendhal is following this this villain and corners him in an alley and just delivers this monologue of, hey, you're a villain because you're doing crime. You feel bad because it's crime. I'm going to kill you now, and just kills him. Very, very brutal. And we see, we also see Popstep and Koichi they're like informants talk to them. They're like, hey, we got this guy. He's an upperclassman of ours. He's great. He can probably help out with what you guys are investigating. Like, all right, sick. We'll take any lead. And then it turns out to be the guy that almost killed Koichi and kidnapped Popstep. We see that Stain is going to be hunting that guy as well. That's pretty much all that happened this episode. This whole episode is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Like, its pacing is wonderful. It does a whole bunch with both like character development and furthering the plot. Stain is sick as always. He's just Deathstroke. That's all he is. And it's just a good time.
Yeah. Good asset. Oh my goodness. I love the way they frame the thing where that you have the flashback with the kid. And it's like, oh, and the kid, and then you have his little like pretend flash forward. He's like, I imagine one day they'd be a great hero, and you see them on the screen, and it cuts directly from that screen back to Pop.
Mm-hmm.
In my head, I was like, oh, it's this. Yeah, that happens. God. I was like, yeah, that's your thing. There.
I told Michael this got me. I wasn't expecting. You wouldn't have got me with this. I would not have expected. They do this really well,
Yeah.
and I think it's rad.
I mean, they also very specifically have him go, yeah, there was a boy I saved. And your
Yeah.
brain just immediately then would cut out her. It's like, yeah, she has the same hair. It's like, yeah, but it was a boy.
I'm
he
just
wouldn't have
also,
gotten that
I'm just
wrong.
also
No,
not.
I picked that shit up so fast.
I just also wasn't expecting them to tie in this way.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to get this, which is really neat.
John,
But,
what do
you
you
know.
thought?
I was on it the whole time. The second they show, I'm like, it's her, isn't it? It's her, isn't it? It's her, isn't it? Yeah, it's her. Oh, it's very cute. Oh, she got the jacket. You gotta bring in the jacket. God damn it. She can't get
Knuckle
the jacket
Dust, you get
'cause-
the fuck
'cause
outta
Knuckle
here.
Duster's in it. Knuckle, like, they're having a moment.
Taking his
She's
pudding.
trying to be cute.
She's
like-
adorable.
Bro,
She is-
Koichi almost got laid.
No, no.
He's like 16.
None of that.
Yeah, there's a like 4-year age gap.
After the
He
time
is in
skip, he'll
college.
get laid. I believe. But
It's admiration, okay?
for now. I don't know. There's a lot of red facial emotion there.
That happens.
No, it was very cute. It was awesome. Yeah, definitely not Stain appearing was like, oh, I understand now where this is going.
I mean-
Some vigilantes are very not good for the
As
hero
somebody-
universe.
As somebody who hasn't,
Damn.
I don't think I got to Stain in the manga because I did not read far, and I don't think I've ever actually seen Stain like in anime.
Does not look like
It's
that.
also looking
in
nothing
No,
like Stain.
I know his general design, so I would not, and I was not paying enough attention to the name. But I'm not surprised at that because I do know Stain is in. I did know that Stain was in Vigilantes.
Yeah,
I
that's
had heard that
crazy.
bit.
That's crazy. We met Ingenium in the last episode. We met Stain.
Well,
That's
yeah.
like, wow, how crazy!
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sure. I'd love to see those characters interact with each other. I'm sure that'll be fun.
Nothing bad.
But no, the show's really good. I really liked the episode because it was just really great character interaction. And it also progressed the plot. Like, good job, show. That's all you have to do. You can progress the plot and take time to build your characters.
Yeah.
It's not always that hard. Or you could just like push the reset button on the entire show, but we'll get to that later. But no, yeah, that's why it's won this week. It's just I think that like it kept progressing in a way that was really good, and its characters
Yeah.
are just really good in general. I love our main three casts. It does everything right that My Hero does wrong, I guess is how I describe it, because you only have to focus on 3 characters, not 37 of them. The side characters are defined as side characters, and they come and they do a thing, and then they go. And like eventually they'll probably come back into frame at some points, but like they're not the focus, so they don't have to be there all the time, always, and included in every arc.
It builds its main cast before it adds on to it, and then builds the side cast.
Yeah. I also just think that this main cast is enjoyable, like all around. You don't really have to work through anything because it's a side story. You don't like you want your main cast to be enjoyable in the side story. You don't want to have to put in a character who needs time for you to get to like them. Like maybe Knuckle Duster is that for some people, but like I don't necessarily think that's really his like he's not like Bakugo, where like you're gonna have a hurdle probably for a bit maybe before you actually like him, and even Deku to a degree. Shonen Pro Tag being slightly unlikable. Crazy. But yeah, I really like the direction this week went.
Yeah.
Hey John,
Hey Sean.
Witch Watch.
So I posted a meme in our group chat because that's how I feel about this character they introduced. Because so it focuses on the homeroom teacher, Miss Makua, who's walking into class and she overhears some students talking about this manga. She's like, "Fuck, I'm really into that manga. Fuck, I'm really into that. I can't let them know I'm a chuny. I can't let them know I'm into that manga. Fuck, shit, fuck." And then they're talking about how one of the classmates, whose name I honestly did not pick up, throughout all this, she's like scrolling through some fan art. She's like, "I know so much about this manga. I know everything about this manga. I love this manga, but I cannot let these kids know that I'm a fucking weeb because that's cringe." And so, it's Urashino, I think is her name, is this person who like does a little bit of drawing and stuff. She's the teacher's favorite artist. Is a short story, in which the teacher puts 2 and 2 together and figures out, fuck, my student's my favorite artist. Fuck, my student's my favorite artist. And she draws my favorite art about my favorite show. Fuck, she's literally my god. And so she's sitting here trying to play it cool while she actually dropped her like special limited edition keychain that the student was trying to get back to her. And it's like, "Hey, you read manga, don't you?" She's like, "No," like a liar. And it goes back and forward before she finally is like, "Yes, I do want to talk about the manga with my favorite artist." And then we actually get back to our main cast where they're helping out one of the classmates, because helping people is how you grow as a witch, basically. Wow, where have I heard this one before? And so one of their classmates asks, "Hey, listen, I need to be unseen, because listen, I often have to get up and go to the bathroom because my bowels explode after lunchtime. So I need to just like not be seen and disappear." And they're like, "That's very lame." And she's like, "No, I can help with this. You just do this, and no one can see you with this magic spell, or like your presence like gets really diminished." So bro uses it to go to the bathroom during class. Sits down, realizes, wait, once I do this, they're gonna realize I'm gone. That's the problem. Bell goes off. He's like, "Finally, I can finally shit in the toilet in peace." Goes to shit, and 3 boys come in. They're like, "Whoa, someone's in the bathroom." Like, "Yeah, who cares?" "Yo, sorry, bro." And then they wash up and leave. And he goes, "Wow, maybe I don't need to hide because we're actually like growing up in
We're
life."
not elementary
Crazy
schoolers.
concept. But it was pretty cute and silly where they're just like, "Whoa, where'd you get here?" And then the episode closes on a new character who we see in the intro, whose name I will actually pull up because she is going to be relevant, likely.
Nemu?
Yeah, Nemu. Who is a cat who is stalking our main cast because she's like, "Hey, how come Nico, this boring witch, has this ogre as a familiar? Usually we have like small animals and like pets and stuff. How come she gets a fucking ogre? This is bullshit. I want the ogre. Also, he's cute and attractive, but that's besides the point. I want the ogre." And so she and her like cat familiar form is stalking the group,
and then doesn't realize while she's daydreaming about this that she walks with them and gets brought into the house with them, and which they are like, "Ooh, we should pay attention to this cat and pet it," like people do. And then, of course, Otogi or Morihito, he's just like, "No, no, no, guys, you got to be like very gentle with them and very calming." She's like, "What is this hand in front of me?" It's like a hand against the wall. And it kind of goes back and forth with her images, and then the reality of him just like petting this cat, which is a little bit disturbing, in my opinion.
It's kind of weird.
And she gets very comfortable as she's getting her head scritchies and goes, wait, this is bad. If I fall asleep, I'm fucked. Wait, no, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. And she falls asleep. However, thankfully, as she does, she gets woken by, at the same time she gets like poofed back as to a person. Kanchi goes, yes, I got it. The last little stupid human figurine in the evolution diagram of my gachapon. They're like, oh man, that's sick, awesome, sweet. So she kind of tiptoes out of the room, and they go, wait, where'd the cat go? It's okay. I'm sure we'll see that cat again. That's where the episode ends. But shouts to Kaishi for bailing her out on accident.
So the noise that came out of when they said her name was Mia was unholy, and I'm surprised my neighbors didn't call the police.
Fair.
Okay, but it's really funny.
Hey, so
I think
if I
that's
had a
very
nickel for every
funny.
time a rom-com made that joke about the cat-related girl, I'd have a holy fuck ton of nickels. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Every time their name was
I have a
something
lot of
relating
fucking
to,
nickels,
if
bro.
the name wasn't just the word cat or something relating to a cat.
yeah, so here's my opinion on this week's episode. 1 for 3 out of the bits. Whoops, it happens. That makes the episode not as enjoyable. Opening bit fucking phenomenal. Great, I love it. Bathroom.
I hated that bit.
You didn't like the teacher with the manga?
I hated that bit. I couldn't stand that bit.
I got a kick out of it.
I thought it was
personally.
silly.
I was not.
I posted that bit in the chat because of it, because she goes on a rant that is so fast and so ridiculous. I'm like, oh, it's just the Fubuki.
Yeah, they speed it up as
glasses
she's
rant.
talking.
It's the Fubuki glasses rant, which isn't sped up, by the way, that video. That is just her talking about glasses being attractive, and it is fucking awesome. If you haven't seen that, just Google Fubuki glasses rant. Yes, it's a VTubing thing. It's fucking hilarious.
But I was not a particularly I was indifferent towards the bathroom bit. And the longer I have to sit on it, the more problems I find with the bit, which is there's like a small implication that as you cast the spell, people also forget you, and it takes a minute for them to realize, which implies that he could just fucking drop the spell, open the door, re-up the spell. Like, there is nothing stopping him from doing it. It's not like you drop the spell and everyone goes, where'd the fuck he go? Like, there's a down period, and then if you put the spell back up, they forget that you're not even, they forget again. Like, you leave their consciousness for a bit.
Eventually it becomes cyclical, though, because they do remember that, like, they cast a spell, so it's not like they forget about that.
But, like,
They
it took them
remember that stuff,
time.
so
Like,
it's
it doesn't take you 3 minutes to open a door, is my point. Like, all of his problems are real quick, easy solves.
Listen, bro, Sean,
He's
have you
dumb,
ever
he's
had to,
dumb,
like-
though. He's dumb,
Sean,
so
have you
it's
ever
fine.
like had to drive a long distance and had to poop from like minute 5, and you're like, I gotta sit here for this entire drive to work, and I have to poop the entire time? Like, you
Every
stop
morning.
functioning after a good like 25 minutes into that like 30-minute time period. You stop functioning, and the only thing you can think of is get to the bathroom. There's no other thoughts in your head. It's like, I don't like, if I have to cross my arms and try to open the door with this finger, I'm gonna fucking do it. 'Cause I gotta shit so bad.
I understand again and again, and like, it's only a problem if you let me think about it for too long. So don't let me think about it for too long. And I don't inherently dislike Nemu. I just do think the petting scene's a little weird. I
It went
won't
on a
lie to
little
you.
much. Yeah, it's a little weird.
And the biggest drawback here for me about this episode is that I desperately kind of needed more time with Kanchi than I did a new character. Like, you already don't have me sold on one new person in the group. I would have liked time for you to get me more accustomed to them. I don't think he stands out particularly much. I do think the bit in this episode, however, that is everybody thinks that Morihito is fucking hot rules. I think that's a rad bit. I think it's really funny that they're just like, yo, come lift my car up, please. He does it, and the girls are like, yo, come get the tree out of my garden. That bit rules. That bit's fucking, and everyone, and then the gang fucking riffs on him. It's so rad. Girls talk to him and they go, "Oh yeah, girls talk to you now, loser." It's good. It's
I fucking
great.
love Nico so much.
And she is wonderful.
Nico with
Kanji.
Kaishi is gonna be such a fucking problem, which is what we see in the opening too, because they're just two idiots, two halves of a whole idiot.
This is a house that only has one brain cell, and it is the ogre. And unfortunately, sometimes Nico steals that brain cell and sends it to space.
Correct.
And so, like, this is the thing for Witch Watch. I don't like how low I have it because I like the structure, I like the concepts. I feel like there are going to be times I'm gonna really enjoy this show. It's just not this week, and it also wasn't last week, and that's not good. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These bits were fun. The show very fun. Yeah, first bit, great time. The way they resolve the third bit is really dumb. They have him yelling human.
I do think it's kind of silly. I think it's kind of funny. With, like,
I guess they do like
thing.
they do like go they're gonna roll some gachapons because they do like mention that's what they got home with, but like it's silly. The bathroom bit is whatever.
It's a dumb scapegoat, but at least they did set up the scapegoat for once, you know, instead of just pulling it out of their ass, which a lot of shows do tend to do.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God,
did. I did. Yeah, they won't get to hear this. He's Mason Mike's. I think he keeps his wireless headphones.
No, he took his headphones off.
Oh, yeah. So I do like in the one part I did like is bathroom stuff, which they introduced the teacher with like the monkey senses. So I do believe he will be recurring as a teacher, just to exist. And I also really enjoy the fact that Morihito goes to save his ass. Like he's like, oh shit. He's like they like get the little like notice in the classroom. It's like, okay, he has to go to the bathroom, and then he like I guess like his brain goes, oh, I don't see him there, which means he's out there.
I should probably also go to the bathroom to check out and make sure he's okay.
Yeah, and then I do enjoy the bit with him stomping his feet loudly while hidden to try to draw the teacher away. It was a good bit. I also do really enjoy the resolution that is, yeah, we're in high school. Why would we make fun of a person in the bathroom? That's just a thing people do.
We're not kids anymore. And they're like, yeah, I know. My bad, bro.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to make you feel comfortable. Shitting is cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and also we finally met Nemu. Yippee.
Yeah, she looks fun. I think we should have a lot of good shows this season.
Yeah.
Like we have a couple, like a handful of shows that are like getting to the like that like good to great tier. Well, let's put it this way: we have 2B Hero X. We have like the Vigilante Musamune tier. Honestly, it's kind of on its own right now. And then we kind of have like other shows trying to get up to that like second tier. And like you have My Hero, that's probably like the closest to like the tier up of that, right? And Usamune is like close, but I don't know if it's ever going to be able to reach that peak because in the end, it's just kind of like horse racing. It's just a sports show, right?
Yeah, I mean, sports shows are great.
It's hard to have much hype moments, in my opinion, with those because of the fact that, like, in the end, it's kind of like skate, where they're going to do the same thing every time, just slightly different. You know, they're going to run around the track, and then one of those girls is going to win, and another one's not going to win, and it's going to motivate them to win the next time, and then they're going to win the next time, by doing better than the previous time, kind of thing. But
that's fair.
But yeah, who had Mono? Was that a Sean show?
That is me as well.
Oh, awesome! So we could actually start with Mono.
Oh, we could move on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could move on to Mono.
It's our podcast now.
Yeah. Sean's off doing.
Sean's Beanie. Do you have anything to say about it? Okay. Yeah, cats do like yarns.
Here's the offer.
Okay. Michael, tell us about Mono.
Yeah, it's a Mono. Me trying to remember what happened in Mono this week. They vibed for 24 minutes.
Every week, bro.
I'm like, she goes and she tries to drink her wine, and then something happens. Yeah, she tries to drink her wine, goes, okay, I gotta mix it, pair it with the salt cured ham I got. As she's going to eat it, she goes, no, they're cooking the ham I bought. So then they go out to the part of Japan where they make salt cured ham. I should look up these locations or have them written down. It's a location. They make salt cured ham. They go there. They get some salt cured ham.
right. It's the fucking ham episode.
Yeah. And I want to say, yeah, they go on a ski lift at one point. And I don't remember why. But I know they go on a ski lift and we get some really sick pictures of them on a ski lift.
So it's because the area nearby that does all of the ham is like in the mountains. So in the off season, this ski resort turns into like an overlook cafe.
Yeah. And like I remember we get some sick shots of the camera of them while they're on the ski lift. Get some nice pictures. Yeah. This episode is quite literally just 24 minutes of these characters vibing and being dumbasses, and they also get ham at one point.
And then there's a ghost.
True.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
The entire
I
second
Ghost
half
is
of this
so
episode.
good.
Yeah, I
She's
forgot.
fucking.
Yeah.
We fucking tie back to episode 2 when they go to the tunnel and she's fucking haunted. Did
Yeah.
you? Okay, so did you see the shot, Mason? Did you and John see the
Which-
shot? See the shot where so the manga friend comes in, and she throws up, and then she comes into the room, and she runs her hand over the camera, and there's a split frame
Yes,
where
I did
she
see
is
it.
standing in. It's the screenshot where she is floating in the fucking air. Because
Yes.
we're watching it, and I see it, I go, God damn. And I go, Michael, did you see that? He goes, no.
Yeah, it's that's the reason why this show is so high this week. Is the bits that they do with this ghost are so good.
Yeah.
Even the ham bit's
Yeah,
good. Even the ham bit's good.
Yeah, the
The
it's
Handmaid's
fun.
also really good.
Yeah, get some good. Yeah, we get the ghost. Yeah, she calls her friend in. So we get to learn about another mangaka she met at some point doing manga bullshit.
Also, this mangaka is hilarious.
Yeah,
I love her.
she's nonsense. Oh, also in the front half, Shikishima says more words in this episode than I think she will ever say again. She
Mhm.
actually like takes over all of the dialogue in this first half. It's awesome.
We get the
Oh, but
bit
yeah.
we get the bit where they
Yeah.
go back into the car and they start calling her Hamu, and then she goes
Yeah.
Miss Hamu has lots of Hamu. She fucking swaps the
Yeah.
sentence. It's real fucking good.
Yeah, Miss Hamu has lots of Haru or
Has lots of
whatever.
Haru.
She takes her name and turns it around. It's great.
That bit fucking killed me.
Yeah. The ghost bit's really good thing. If they get there, like, oh shit, we gotta get the ghost away. So what we gotta do is gotta go put it back in the tunnel where you got it. So then they go. She goes back on the bus where they went through the tunnel where they went. Yeah, it's like episode like 2 or 3 where they went into this tunnel. She goes back through. You get this really cute little scene as the ghost is like separating from her. It's like goodbye, and it's like, oh my god, the ghost is gone. Yippee! Well, time to go back home. Takes the bus back through that same tunnel. She's fucking. She's haunted again. They're like, ah. So she has to then go back through the tunnel and then take the route around this mountain, which is a like 7-hour bus ride.
It's so good. Meanwhile, the other mangaka's like, oh, I had some other shit to do, so
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
have fun.
I think this episode is funny and it rules, and that's why this show is like
This
this show had a
episode's
killer
great.
week, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm realizing that the gags in this show are gonna be long running. Like they're gonna build, which is a really cool concept that you're going to build your gags and keep using them. Because you have the bit where they're there for the ham, and when they go out to eat, and they're like, you're not gonna order a bigger portion, and they're like, no, fucker,
We're dying.
we're still fucking full.
God, that whole bit was so good. This episode is just.
So John, why
it's
don't you like
very good comedy.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like I don't really love the cast that much or what it is, or like the premise just doesn't really interest me that much.
It is a very lacking premise to a show. It might as well not have a premise.
It's just kind of dudes being dudes. Is kind of my
5
description of
chuckle
it.
fucks explore rural Japan.
The
Yes.
problem is I just don't care about rural Japan.
That's fair.
I guess the problem. Like I said, a lot of like the like, plots of the episode just don't tickle my fancy. So I unfortunately my brain just kind of tones out after like they start doing something like we're gonna go get ham, and I'm like, cool. Have you heard of a grocery store? They got fucking Tesco over there or something, man. Like,
Well, they do
maybe,
find
like,
it in the grocery store
home-
too, just like the wine. And instead of running the bit at the end, they run it at the beginning.
and they just go, yeah, let's just keep going. We're already going.
Well, that's true. Like if you're on,
Because-
if
which is
you're
the whole
heading
journey she
somewhere,
made because she finished her like short story book.
her
and went,
volume.
Ooh, I picked up some cured ham for special, and then her it's her aunt or her grandmother. I forget who is she staying with.
Grandma
Who just like is actively cooking it for her bicycle friend.
for Kako.
Who's just like, what's the big deal about it, bro? It's just some ham. She's like, but it my ham.
It was my
Um,
ham. And she
and
goes,
he-
if you're gonna have some ham with the wine that you went all the way there to
You
get,
should go
you
get it
best be
from
getting
there.
the best kind of ham to bear with that wine.
Which
She goes,
Hang on,
You make
hang
a
on. My
fair
camera's
point.
got a charge. We can leave in 30. No reason.
I really do like the fact that by the end of that portion of the episode, it's also very clear she's strictly doing this for content feed. Because
Yeah,
she's
it's-
like,
Oh, of course.
she's like, well, there's also
no.
a place with really good pudding. And she's like, now hold on a minute, I know what you're doing here.
I love that like this whole show is just manga artists.
Exploiting
so
girls for content premises.
It's high school girls being exploited for content by a Margaret artist who's being exploited for content by a motorcycle YouTuber vlogger.
It is an Ouroboros. It never ends.
And the kids haven't done anything with their pictures yet. That's
That's-
my
No, they're posting
problem.
no,
It's
they're
5
posting them on
episodes.
Guru
We
Guru
haven't
Maps.
done anything
Yeah, they
yet.
posted them on Google Maps. It's all cool.
Guru Map.
Guru Map.
It's
I
okay.
get-
They're
I get
gonna
that.
win some big competition with with all the photos of the cats at the end of the season.
Like again, there's nothing
God.
wrong with it. There's nothing specifically wrong with the show that I hate that much. It's just like I just like the other
That's
shows
fair.
better
No, this is
overall.
a very
Wait,
this
that's
is
why
a
Mono's
show.
at 6 for me. I just had 5 shows I liked more.
Yeah.
Mono's at 8, but it's like it's a close 8. You know what I mean?
There is
Yeah,
a
Mono didn't go down. It's just 2 other
Anything-
shows went
I'd
up
say
this
right
week
now,
for
anything
me.
below my top 4 is like kind of in a separate like category.
I will talk about why which is below Mono because reasonably it probably shouldn't be, but there is a single caveat I have. No, there is a single we're gonna get to it at the
No,
end of the
I agree.
podcast, but there's a single caveat I have about which, that I'll get to. That is the reason
Ah,
why
see,
it's
caveats are
exactly where it is.
Caveats are boring.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
No.
Sean is anti-bestiality in fiction. Corinne.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
look at the
that
don't
link's
look
really
at
Can't Wolf 19
don't look
apparently.
don't look at the
Sean hates-
username.
Sean hates interspecies relationships.
You-
El Bozo.
You heard
Okay,
it here
listen.
first.
He hates when different species get together, okay, and they have a loving relationship, and she's okay that he's a little hairy.
I know when he's
Look, I'll give the hot take. Furries don't deserve rights. That is a joke.
I don't believe you. You can't. There was a lot of conviction behind that statement, Mason, and not enough behind the joke part of it.
Mason.
That is in fact a joke.
I also just really enjoy all the
Mason,
cat.
I just want to say, Mason, personally, it's okay if it wasn't a joke, but that's besides the point.
I enjoy all the cat stuff here this week as well. He's
The
a
cat
very-
bit is really
He's a
really
very-
funny. Just all the different names.
He's a very good boy.
Guys,
Yes.
speaking of rights, we need to repeal the Third Amendment.
What are we doing on this
What are
podcast?
you talking about?
Hey guys,
I'll
Rock is
explain later.
Rock is a lady's modesty. So this week we're picking up right where we left off, and that's right, symphonic band performance. So they go through, they just fucking dive right into this symphonic band, and we find out that the band is a fairly amount of kind of older people who just want to vibe and have a good time. So they want to slow the song down because it's a little complicated for them. And Lily starts to lose her goddamn mind. She's like, if we slow this song down anymore, I'm gonna lose it. We're like, this is so slow already. What the fuck are we doing? And before anything else can happen, Juni Shitani shows up, a well-known 2-album produced singer who comes in and goes, how come I'm not the closing act of this venue? I should be the closing act. I sell product. And he goes, what's a band if they don't have a vocalist? And Michael immediately goes, he's gonna be the villain of the entire show. Michael, I think you were proven wrong.
Yeah, apparently.
It's actually her mother. We'll get to it. And we find out that the conductor, for the symphonic band went to the same school as Ishitani, and he apparently he did band there too, And Ishitani is just a dude who bullies people who did band for some reason, because somehow this Japanese high school band didn't have enough aura to prevent people from bullying them like most high school bands do nowadays, where you just don't walk up to the band because they're all full of psychopaths and crazy people. You just gotta leave them be.
True. No, that's just every band.
Exactly.
That's how I
No.
met John.
Yeah, it's just crazy. They're just all full of crazy people, and you got one guy who's forming a harem somehow. It's weird. It just always happens every band. It's weird, dude.
Usually they're in drumline.
Probably, yeah. But so Ishitani's just like, yeah, I don't get it. You're gonna suck. Have fun. And a guy comes over and goes, hey, dude, they gotta practice. Can you fuck off? And he goes, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we see that that Alice is here because her friend brought her here because Alice is her best friend, which makes Alice swoon. She can't believe she has a best friend who's adorable and who has Oshinoko eyes.
Yes.
And they explain that she is here because I think it's her nanny's sister, her nanny's identical sister, plays in the symphonic band.
It's like personal tutor.
Yeah, her
something.
tutor's identical twin sister also plays in this band. So they gotta come here for it. She wanted to bring her best friend with her. So they come on in, and and there's fucking nobody in this goddamn venue. They did the worst job advertising for this entire event.
8 people, 2 of them being kids who are playing Uno on the floor.
Yeah. Fucking playing fucking
Yep.
memory. And Ishitani goes out, he sings, he's actually not bad. And Alice goes, wow, is this poor people music? It sucks. On her inner monologue. And then he gets off stage and he's like, I still don't get why I'm not the closing act. And Michael loses his shit because they go, well, the symphonic band needs time to set up, so they gotta be the closing act. And Michael goes, why weren't they the opening act? They needed time to set
if
up.
Need setup time. Do it before the show.
I guess the idea is you need setup time and cleanup time, so it makes sense to bookend it.
Yeah.
Because then you
yeah.
don't have
It's
to worry about the cleanup for the instruments. But
Yeah,
it
it's
is
the fact
funny.
that, it should be stage takedown. That's the big thing. But they mention it as setup time, which is really dumb.
And perhaps also they wanted to give them more time to practice, but that also doesn't seem to be how that worked because just the way the venue is. But that's besides the point. So we go out and then we get a fucking 8-minute performance. It feels like, which is kind of rad. They start playing. And by start playing, I mean Oraha and Lalisa just fucking go ham right away, and everyone goes, what do? We didn't practice this isn't in the script. And so they set the pace and tempo of the song much faster, so that they have to match them to sound good. And then as the other players start to screw it up, they just play harder and cover for them to give them time to catch their breath and pick back up. And we get this cool visual of it just being a freaking cyclone of just them and the music. And Alice loses her shit because it's actually good music. She can't believe it. And then for some fucking reason, mid-performance, Lalisa decides she's gonna swap from bass to guitar. Does it make sense? Maybe not. Is it rad as fuck? Yeah. And so they rap, and they also apparently they are so fucking loud, they bring in the entire neighborhood and fill this entire venue. And then we go backstage, and June comes back and he goes, damn, you know what? I was wrong. Instrumental music kinda slaps, and you guys kinda killed it out there. Specifically those two. Would you like to feature on the as background instrumentals for my next album? And Elise takes this card and loses her goddamn mind. Just absolutely flips on this man, delivering some incredible lines. Such as we're rocking with our cocks out over here. She
covered lip dick.
Yeah, cum covered
prick.
lip dick prick. Yeah, just real good shit. And then Odaha walks up and is like, sorry, she's losing her mind a little. Fuck you, you're losers, we're out of here. They both give him the middle finger. And as they're leaving, Alice shows up and is like, I didn't know you could play instrument that good. That was rad. What do you... And Lisa's like, hey, don't tell mom. Don't fucking tell mom. And she fucking raises her sister up and is like, don't you dare tell mom. We're fucking out of here. Also, briefly outside while they're performing, we see who is going to be, I believe, the keyboard.
I believe so.
It's the keyboardist, I believe. I don't remember exactly, because it's the blue-haired one. She's around. She's out there listening. And then Alice comes home, and she realizes maybe my stepsister isn't the problem. Maybe it's just my stepmother who I don't like. Maybe my stepsister could be cool. And she sees the white lilies from last week, and she goes, actually, I want that in my room, because I like my sister now. And then she goes upstairs, and she's like, I wonder what she used to be like before she moved here and started faking being an entirely separate person. Oh, look, it's my stepmother. Hey, stepmom, what was my sister? Why are you losing your goddamn mind? What do you mean there is no sister in Ba Sing Se? What is
You're right.
what is going on here? And then we cut back to the riverside as Lalisa is not coming home for her violin lesson, and that will have no negative repercussions later. And her and Otaha are just chilling by the lakes, by the riverside. I think this episode's actually really rad and really cool. I had a really good time with this. I don't think the performance is like crazy, but I think it's fun.
I love this performance.
This performance was sick.
This is by far my favorite that we've gotten from them.
Yeah, I'm not.
Performance was really good. But
I'm
a little
not
bit illogical, but
surprised.
That's okay.
I'm not surprised by you guys enjoying the symphonic band performance.
Yeah, it was sick.
I just don't think the song's anything crazy. I really like the performance. I like the stuff that goes into it, and it sounds good. I won't argue with it. I felt like it went a little long, but I didn't have any
Oh,
Oh,
issues.
also they
I
can
didn't.
fill an episode.
Sure.
It's also a little bit like illogically done in terms of like, there's no way they could do that. But like, yeah, it was good. Like in terms of like just like a musical performance for show, it was good.
It is crazy to get like a little mini arc between the conductor and this random singer. It's like a neat little thing to just
Yeah.
throw at you, where you're like, "This is why we doing this? Cool, I guess."
Sure, man.
Yeah. Give me reason to be
That's
invested in this performance, I guess. I mean, it clearly worked because Michael took one look at the singer and went, "He's gonna be the worst human being of all time forever." He was wrong, but
But he was close.
he bought it like the show wanted, and who, I mean, I like the fact that these characters are almost certainly going to be important when the girls have a band and start playing. Like they are going to be people who are going to come listen to them. This is you building your starting audience. Like you come back to the symphonic band when you have to sell tickets for a venue.
I saw him now. He's right up top.
Michael,
But Storm is happening.
you like the song?
Yeah, this episode was really fun. I had really enjoyed this episode. Part of why I like this performance so much is that this is the first time it's felt like the two of them are actually trying to play as a fucking band and not be absolute utter fucking nincompoops behind their instruments.
I mean, they were kind of.
Well, to each
Both.
to other people, but to each other, Michael is saying like they are actually
Right.
like they are synced. The
Well,
two
yeah,
of them.
well that, but also, yes, they're driving the group. Maybe it's just because they actually did a proper audio balancing with the performance. They aren't overpowering everyone. They are doing what a rhythm section does and keeping the band at a tempo that will make the song enjoyable. Yes, it's faster than they've practiced. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Learn how to play your instruments.
Yeah.
I mean, it's supposed to be just a chill little like summer evening recreation band. I don't think
Yeah,
they
I'm
were
saying
signing up.
this-
For...
Yeah, and you know what? They pulled
Yeah.
12
17th
people, and
orchestra.
they pulled 12 people, and 4 of them are kids not paying attention. So maybe they should do better.
Yeah.
You
That's
can shoot
Minecraft
for the
best.
you can shoot for the stars.
I mean, I just
They're just
really
trying
like
to
the
relive
part
their
they play in
childhood,
it.
Sean.
I just really like the them being like the driving force behind it. I think they do it really well. I also really like you see the one person like drop, like you start seeing people like drop out. I'm like, yeah, they're just gonna cover up that by playing in that open space they're doing to keep the tempo running while people are taking a break. That's like what a good rhythm section. It's just I love this performance so much, man. This performance is sick. I
How
had
do you
such a
feel?
good
How do you
time.
feel about the mid-song guitar swap, Michael?
That was fucking ridiculous. Like it was
How do
kind
you
of
feel
awesome.
the mid-song guitar swap, and then she didn't bring the guitar with her?
Yeah, I
She
noticed
just
that
had
as
one
well.
guitar on the way out.
she leaves the bass, and then they go back later, which is because they express that like they do their. I think this is really funny. I kind of wish we would have got to see it, but they express that like they storm out after their outburst, and then have to go back for the bass, and that's when they get chewed out for doing that, because they didn't actually get chewed out by the conductor like prior, like before they snap.
Yeah.
Then there's no time for that to happen. So they all go back, they start talking, they flip their lids on them, like they do, and then they have to come back from the base later, which I think is so funny.
10 of our 10 kills.
I just love the part where like the guy's like, you know what, that's a great performance. How would you guys like to help me perform in the future? And they go, "Fuck you!" Like right to his face. Like,
First of
"You
all,
are
fuck you.
terrible, bro.
Second of all,
You call that
fuck you.
falsetto?
Really,
What the falsetto foot up in your ass?"
really fun to have the censorship in this show audibly be guitar strings. Just be
It's
fucking.
so
It's so funny.
It's a little touch. It's really cute.
I also like the very small thing that's like, oh, that's our introduction to our piano player as you see
Yeah.
her like outside listening, going, that's interesting sounding. So her introduction is just gonna be she went in and saw them, and she's very clearly in the same school uniform they were.
Yeah, which means they're only gonna find the bassist off of the app, which is fine. Makes sense.
Yeah, however, they're gonna find the bass.
How else do you find a bassist besides stumbling into them in the wild?
I think it'd be funny if the app just leads to nothing, and the app was introduced to be nothing.
That would be very funny.
The app is
just
a
for
mini
this,
scam.
just for this plot point. Well, Mason, Gundam.
So Gundam this week. So Machu is kind of bummed because Shuji killed a woman.
Whoopsies.
Is she though?
But then she's fine, and her and Jan go hang out for a bit, and then they bring Shuji some food.
It wasn't even fun. It
And-
was just like, oh, that sucked. Anyways.
They talk about the fact that they have to win just 2 more clan battles, and then they can get a glider to Earth. And then they get naked, or like mostly naked. And they lay on the Gundam. And Machu gets jealous of Nyan. Nyan gets jealous of Machu. And then Nyan and Machu are on the way home, and Nyan gets stopped by ICE officers. I mean Border Patrol agents. I mean Xeon
Police
officials.
or something.
And they're like, "Hey, you're a refugee, aren't you?" And she's like, and Machu tries to
Machu wants
defend
to
her.
throw hands
Machu wants
immediately.
to throw fucking hands.
John, we're gonna need like a disclaimer
know.
to this that is like this is not in any way identified or relatable to current events.
Right.
Here, I got you. When we switch over to the conversation tab, I'll just put A cab in all big letters real big. How about that? Does that work out for everybody?
Yeah, something
We're
like
just
that.
gonna start talking about it.
Yeah.
It's just gonna get the bum 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 bum. We'll be right back. And it's just like, and that's Gundam. What do you guys think about it this
So-
week?
So Jan starts getting her stuff out to hand to them as they're shaking her down essentially, and Machu says fuck all that and kicks one of them in the dick. And then they run away. While they're running, turns out the original pilot of the GQuuuuuuX is in the same place that they're at, and follows Machu and ends up pulling her into a locker to save her from all these Border Patrol agents. But he's not quite sure if she is the same person that stole his Gundam,
Somehow.
and she is also not quite certain, but is fairly certain he is the pilot that she stole this Gundam from. So they're just kind of sitting in this locker, not quite sure of each other. She figures out that he is the pilot. He is not sure, but he decides that, okay, well, the clan battle is starting soon. So if I keep her in here and the GQuuuuuuX doesn't come out, then it's for certain she's the one who stole it. And then the GQuuuuuuX comes out because Nyan gets away and ends up climbing into the GQuuuuuuX and doing clan battle for Machu because she can't get out of the lock. And also because she's trying to get with Shuji because they're fighting over Shuji for some reason.
I think we'll talk about this. I have thouts on this.
The Kita particles.
Yeah,
They want to
both
connect
see
with
fit
Shuji.
into
I mean, they want to dock with. I mean,
Wrong mech
So-
show. Wrong mech show.
Yeah,
oh,
true.
sorry, my bad.
So they start this clan battle, and Nyan's like, all right, well, it's fine. I'll be okay because Shuji does all the work anyways. I won't have to do it. Unfortunately, Shuji has a fever and is really sick actually, so he's no help.
Again, completely out of left field, by the way. They just dropped this
Yeah.
in the middle of
No,
the clan
no,
battle.
it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Is it
It's
not?
a
It is.
So the
it is-
reason,
why
so
they're naked,
the
so we
reason
can
they
cool
get,
down.
yeah, the reason they get naked is that he has the fever earlier when they bring him
I
the
thought it was
food.
just cool. It was just he.
Well,
doesn't-
No.
so
You
he's
you can't tell me
hot.
that Shuji can just say weird things and
But
not like
fair.
stoner ass sentences,
Yeah.
and you're like, yeah, that checks.
But the idea
Like,
is that you can visibly see he's flush, and he lays down on the Gundam to cool off, and so it's your hint that something is off about him
see, I just
more
thought,
than usual.
I just thought he was being Gundam horny, like he's been. The
That's
whole
fair.
show.
That's
Like,
fair.
Yeah,
like,
no,
I think
that's
it's
a
a very
fair
valid
assessment.
thing. And I felt like, oh, he's sick, cool.
It
Yeah,
can
it's
be
entirely
both.
designed to lead you on.
I thought he got
But-
sick because they were out there naked on the Gundam, and they got like a
That
cold
also
because
probably
that's a dumb
helped.
idea.
yeah, probably didn't know.
But
I would know.
Uh,
I'm just a nurse.
But
also, while this is happening, their opponents are two former Federation pilots. That Chalia gives us the context that they are Dom men because of the type of mobile suit that they are.
no other reason.
No other reason.
Probably.
Yeah, definitely. It's not.
Oh, we don't get to.
Anyways.
We'll never know.
Anyways, yeah, no. So they start just going immediately after the GQuuuuuuX because it's very clear that whoever is piloting it is new, not realizing that it's not the usual pilot. And then they do this fun thing where they attach cables to the GQuuuuuuX, and you're like, okay, I've seen this one before. And then they electrocute the cockpit and try to quite literally just kill the pilot. That's their whole game plan because everything's fair in these.
That's cheating.
You tell me the
That's
Doms
not-
are trying to electrocute people? Haven't heard this
I know,
one
right?
before.
Right. And eventually, Jan gets shocked a couple of times and finally goes, you know what? Nope, time to rage. And turns out she's probably a new type as well. Because she kicks Haro aside, grabs a hold, and just starts fighting them. And kills one by first she cuts open the cockpit, and then I believe she cuts them in half.
Later, yeah.
And then Shuji ends up getting the other one in the head, and then that just causes the
No.
whole thing to blow up.
I don't,
Oh, no,
I
she
think
gets the
she
other
gets both.
Yeah,
She steals Shuji's lightsaber.
Yeah, because
that's
so
what it
what she winds up doing is essentially marionetting Shuji's mech as like a shield.
Yes.
Because he has the
Yeah.
shield. So she uses him because he's not fighting, which is apparently a very controversial thing to do in Gundam fights. Apparently, you should not just take your
Wow,
partner.
nobody thought to block.
Just
and
don't
move your
take
partner.
don't take your entire Mav and use them as a human shield. It's not a great look.
So it's very funny because all of the non-pilots
Yes.
are like, "That's so bad, that's awful," and all the pilots are like, "No, I see it, I get it."
Yeah, all the war
Hey,
vets are
effective.
like, "Hey man, you do what you gotta do."
Yep.
Kill to be killed out here, brother.
This episode's so weird in that I actually did enjoy this episode more than I enjoyed last week's episode. It's just that this series overall just feels like we're teasing where we're going to get to, but we haven't like broken it open yet, if that makes any sense.
It still feels
Like,
super like small scale.
yeah. We haven't hit the same peak that we did from like episode 2 on like
Well,
1 and 2.
to be fair, this is where the movie premiere stops. So like
Yes.
all of this airs together, which so this is your hook. Your hook is that you have a second new type pilot for the
Rival-
same Gundam.
Rival love
Yeah.
interest. Second pilot.
Yeah, I think this is a really interesting thing here because like I think it's unclear yet if Neon likes Shuji or if she just wants to be a part of the group.
Yeah.
Because like they're talking about going to Earth, and that's their dream, and they're fighting for it, and they're doing all the work to get the money, and she has no part about this, and she doesn't know what the Kira Kira is, and so I have no good explanation about her stripping besides the fact that she wants to just do it to be near Shuji, or that she's also just fucking weird, which I think is a fair take.
Why not?
Now Machi's thing is definitely that she's in the Shuji, and she thinks that Neon is like competition. especially doesn't help that now she can pilot the same Gundam. So like
Arguably better than she could.
debatable.
Debatable.
Because
Arguably.
she's good on her own, it seems, but how is she gonna be with a partner? Because for what it's worth, most of these fights, Machu's the one who gets the finishing blow a lot of the
Yeah.
time. So like they work well as a team. It's just that like Machu should probably. Mav seems like it's a term that I think just means your partner, but it always almost seems like it's coming from the person who's in charge. Like your Mav is the person who's like has your back and is your secondary. Because everybody who always talk like when
Char and Chalia.
yeah, when Charlie talks about it, he's always the Mav in
Yeah.
in the setup. So like saying Shuji's the Mav, it's like yeah, because I guess her Gundam's more advanced is maybe the play for it, but he is not really playing the role as a Mav when they fight. It's weird. I personally got a real big kick out of the beginning of this episode, which is everybody in like the clan battle group being like, yo, you think Machu's okay? She just like, we're used to seeing people die because like it happens, but like she's just a girl. And then she's fucking out on the road sunbathing in a bathing suit, just vibing. And in her head, she's like, he did kill a woman. But like,
Like, he's kind of hot.
imagine what it takes to kill a woman. Like that's kind of impressed. Like she's like
He
getting
commit murder.
like she's impressed
but,
about
like,
it.
was kind of cool.
And she's kind of into it. And then the other woman who runs the clan back comes in and she's like, "So what do you think about Shuji, huh? Yeah, you interested in Shuji?" And then she fucking just spirals. She can't get him out of her mind after that. This episode left me very interested to see what we're gonna do with this, but I'm not like I agree, I'm not sold and all in on this show. But I generally thought the premise of this episode is really cool. I also think the fact that Xavier, the pilot, is really dumb. So like he's watching this fight and he's like, well, it can't be her. Someone's piloting the G-Quux and that would have to be her. Meanwhile, fucking Shalia's watching this fight and they're like, and he's like, oh, that's clearly a different pilot. They're an entirely different, completely different behavior out there.
It's the classic thing where it's like, hey, you're Zero, aren't you? And then Zero shows up and he's like, clearly you can't be Zero now. I mean, you're right here. Like, that's Batman over there. And you're right here. So
could
you can't
Elle
be Batman,
could
Bruce
Elle
Wayne.
figure out who Zero is? Could Elle figure out who's piloting the G-Quux? Yes. I generally like the show. It's just lower because
There's a lot of higher quality
it
stuff.
hasn't sold me on what we're doing yet because I don't feel like we have like this maybe be the major hook, but I don't know where we're going with it.
I think part of it too is just like we recently watched another Gundam show within the last couple years on the podcast that was really good the first season. And like really like hooked you right away.
Its
and, like,
character
albeit this
dynamics
stuff.
were better. Like I was more immediately in on the characters in Witch from Mercury than I was this cast. This cast feels very distant still. Like I feel
They
like
also
we
had a
haven't
very like
gotten a lot of
direct
them.
plot too, because it's like, hey, here's where we're at, here's what's going on.
Kind
like,
of.
Here's some of the overarching stuff, but like it was actively pushing towards a goal. Whereas right now they're pushing towards a goal, but it's pretty like broad of like let's go on vacation, basically, you know?
It's not let's go on vacation. It's let's get off of this colony that we're on and start a new life.
It's more, I think one of the things that is maybe hurting this show is that there's a lot of mystery and science fiction bullshit that is very centered to it, whereas Witch from Mercury was a very grounded, like, sci-fi school battle show, in terms of Gundam, until it opened up towards the end. Like, they're doing different things, and that's what... Uh-oh. It's okay. Discord's fixing itself. There we go. They're doing different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fine now. Michael, thoughts on the G-Quux?
Yeah. I had fun this episode. I do remember like I do like the brain trying to like piece together thing, but like overall had a fine enough time with the episode. I like the beginning. We have like a section, like a few minutes. I don't remember exactly how long it was, where it's just kind of Machu just kind of existing with music playing in the background.
Yes, it's
And I'm
an
like, that's
odd.
sick.
It's an odd cut. It's really interesting though how they do it.
Yeah.
And it's actually both of them doing it because you have the music with her when she's sunbathing, and then when they cut to the school and she's like fucking showing off, it's Neon who has the music going.
Right.
So it's like it is drawing you a parallel between the two of them.
Yeah, like I thought that was really neat. And the fight itself was really cool. I like what we get out of the fight. Because it shows that Neon certainly is a little bit mentally unstable. That upon activating the Psycom immediately goes, "Yep, time to murder this asshole."
Yep.
It's like, oh, okay. I also don't understand how the second one dies. She does the thing where you cut off the head. That's like how you're supposed
And
to
it
do it.
explodes.
And then his also explodes.
Yeah,
I was like,
I just-
okay, neat. Whatever, dude.
Would have no idea.
Yeah, like this episode was fine. I just, I don't care enough. This cast is so. See, the real issue with this cast is that I don't give actually any amount of a fuck about any of the Pomeranians. All three of them or four, however many there are all just nothing.
Yeah.
Speaking of casts we don't give a fuck about.
Before that, the other thing I will say is it seems like the play that we're going to is that Shalia's going to be entering the clan battle with military mechs for their final fight. That kind of feels like what, because he mentions getting mobile suits ready, which implies that like he's gonna go in there and fucking show off, because he's bored. He's fucking tired of watching other people do shit.
I do really enjoy Shalia, honestly. Like, the man just seems very, like,
It's crazy.
yeah,
that
I'm just gonna do this.
It's crazy that an older character who probably has a good amount of like character fleshed out a bit is maybe the most enjoyable part of a show because he's like a full-on fleshed out character already. So he just has like a whole personality and vibe to him and a whole story. He is probably the most interesting part of the show.
True.
So Mason, I have a question about Gundam. Is
Yes.
every Gundam's plot just, oh no, the Gundam does the psychic link thing, that's bad?
No.
Is it the plot of every
No.
Gundam? Does it
No.
so happen that this and Witch from Mercury, that is just a major
It's
central
just-
monster?
It's just the most recent two. IBO is the body side of that, and then Double O is the
No,
So,
Mason
what
Gundam
Gundam
is similar because he is Gundam.
okay. That's just that is just the fact that Setsuna
Setsuna
FSA
is
is
Gundam.
Setsuna FSA is actually insane. He just doesn't realize.
Well, yeah, if there's one thing I've
Half
learned,
that show are actually insane to be
if
fair.
there's one thing I've learned is that if you're piloting a Gundam, you have to be legally insane to some degree.
Correct.
Like, you have to have some form of trauma or be legally bad shit insane.
So this is the thing that I go back to every time. Gundam is the same show every time. It's just one of two things. Did we start off as child soldiers? And okay, all of them start off as child soldiers, almost always. And then it's a matter of, do we go into the military side of it or do we go into the terrorist side of it? Which one?
Which realistically,
Pick
depending
your
how you
flavor of
depending on
terrorism.
how you look at it, it's the same thing.
Correct, but it's just the
Is the
structure of it.
military the good guys or the bad guys?
Yes.
Often, yes.
Hi, John.
Here, Sean.
Lazarus.
Sorry, I was eating some ice. You guys ever just eat ice?
That's more enjoyable than this episode of
So this episode opens up
Personally.
on an Axel monologue this week where he's like
Good
talking about how
monologue.
happiness spread throughout prison, and he's like, "I tried it once, hit my head on the bars, still hurt. Guess it doesn't work that well,
Honestly, Axel kind of based.
but I guess I'm still dead anyways." So last time they left off with the Delta medicinal stuff. So like, hey, we got to figure out this data leak, and they don't find much, but they found out this dude's SoundCloud profile. And they go, "Yo, this music's kind of weird, ass." And they're like, "Wait, decrypt it this way," and then it's just like a fucking full-on list of data, basically from all their like studies, so that they can communicate with Skinner.
So what it is that they upload it. They say that it is an image file uploaded as a sound file.
Yeah, turn that dot
This
lab
is-
to a JPEG.
This is not how this works.
Not how that works.
That's not how that works at all.
Mason, but
Just
in this future, that is how it works.
It's
This is
not how that works at
MP7, Mason.
all.
This is MP7. We only have MP4. That's why.
It doesn't. Turning.
No, Mason, you just open it up as a
Don't worry.
WMPM.
We'll
It's
get back.
good.
We'll get back into this because I have complaints about this scene too. But let's get through the episode recap.
Make that shit a dot
Basically,
JPEG.
they go to Delta Medicinal. They're like, okay, we gotta find a way in. Can't do this. Can't do this. Can't do this. Hey, Axel, what are you doing? Have you guys tried the front door? And he just walks in the front door, beats up a bunch of guards in the elevator, walks right up to the guy's office and goes, "Hey, here's my dick. Tell me what you know." And he goes, "Fuck, you got me." Like,
Let's kind of do that.
Yeah. pretty much.
he tells him what he knows, which is basically nothing, as per usual in these shows. All he
The
tells him
monkey
is like,
died.
"Yeah, we tried it on monkeys, and a monkey died. So we kind of figured the human gonna die too, but we wanted money, so oh well."
And then Axel goes, "Are you at
I'd
least
like-
working on a vaccine, like a cure?" And they go, "Yeah, actually, it's
Yeah.
not going well." And they go, "Brain blast."
Like, oh no, you mean
What
the cure?
if?
You mean cures take more than 30 days? But guys, what if we just pretend like we have a cure? Then he has to show where he is. Easy money. He can just be like, "Yep, that's me. Let me double check your work real quick. Great job, guys." And instead they trigger another antagonist encounter that we didn't know about yet, called Popcorn Magician or something like that. Popcorn Wizard. I was
Something
pretty
like
close. Who was just this person who was driving in the mystery machine out in like the mountains with a laptop and like trying to hack it and find out what this cure is, and goes, "Well, they got me. It was a joke." Throws the laptop out the window and then calls him on speed dial. Goes, "Hey, that was pretty sick. You almost got me.
Hardcore.
That's hardcore." And then click. And that's kind of it, honestly.
Yeah, because
Like,
the entire fake symposium is the most nothing burger thing in this show yet, and that's crazy.
you're like, "Hey, they're not over here. Hey, they're not over here. Hey, they're not over here. Hey, they're not over here. Whoa, what's happening? Someone's trying to hack into the mainframe.
walkie-talkies.
No way."
There are exactly 24 access nodes they're getting. It's the one.
Not
I
gonna lie,
thought
watched
this shit was
episode,
dead in
damn,
here.
this shit ass.
Wait, also, how are they talking on their wristbands? I thought the Wi-Fi was off.
Right?
They said they had to call each other through the in-house landlines, and they're
I-
talking through the fucking
I
wristband.
guess to talk to Elena, which they also still don't do.
But like the
Yeah.
idea is that they couldn't call her because the Wi. Like
Yes.
there would be no cell
No,
service coming in.
Michael, I can explain this in terms Sean would understand. It's kind of like when you're playing D&D and you're all talking between turns, even though you technically can't talk in combat, but you're all planning between turns of how your turns are gonna go.
You know what? That's
It's just,
fair.
that's what it is. It's that
Okay,
telepathic link.
12 miles away from
Also-
each other.
What fucking like tech
It's
team
called
do they have
metagaming.
that is
None.
in a secured tech center?
The most secure
Why-
tech center we could have right now, by the way.
These people are very clearly used to working in these places. What fucking people open the doors immediately?
I'm just saying, man. What kind of hackers do fake fiction
Why-
worlds have, man?
Why
It
does
really
Skinner?
is those
Why
people
does
who
Skinner
sit in
have
front
a
of the computer.
second hacker? Why are all the hackers on Skinner's team? We like,
Right?
See,
like I
that's
thought
the
we.
thing.
They
I
don't
probably
think this
all
person's
taken half
connected to
of them. They're
Skinner.
also gonna
I
die.
think this is just some random person who
Who just
thought it
came
would be
in.
really funny to do this.
Except
They
that
might
That's it.
sell
That's
them
the prob-
for
the whole
information or
purpose
the
something.
here.
problem is that they, for a while, they paint her like she's Skinner's hacker. Where they're like, well, clearly, if she's getting involved, she must work for Skinner. I'm like, why would you assume you just got his hacker? Why would you think he has another? How many hackers do you think this guy has on payroll? I think it is insane that they open these SoundCloud files and Doug takes one look at it and goes, but what if you open that as an image file? Why, Doug? What makes you think that's the play? You're
No,
right.
no,
Is that
You
the
are
first
right.
thing to do?
No,
You
he
are
actually,
right.
Listen,
Why?
Sean, you wouldn't understand the music Doug listens to. He actually listens to a lot of
The
images
entire
and
Hamilton
music files.
soundtrack.
That's actually all on his MP3 player.
Yeah.
No.
Bro
Look,
takes
you gotta-
bro takes pictures. Goes, ah shit. Turn that JPEG to a
Oh,
dot
wonder how this
Look,
picture
I said my
sounds.
fucking
Sean. Sean, it's because Doug was in the room where it happened.
True, true.
real.
Now, the only interesting thing that happens this entire episode, this too, but the only, like, important plot relevant thing that I think is even remotely set up in this episode is they open the image file, and Hirsch goes, that's Hopno testing information. And Doug goes, why do you know that? And then we don't
was
talk,
awfully
and then we
fast
don't
assumption.
talk about it. Which,
Yeah.
like, that is clearly them setting up that Hirsch has other
She's
things
evolved
going on.
with
Yes.
Skinner.
Like,
Yep.
she has a deeper level here than she is leading up, which, God, I fucking hope so. I hope she's
Which
just...
also, if she does, why are we fucking dragging our feet on this shit?
The worst culprit of this episode is that it goes fucking nowhere. We end on literally no connection or lead going anywhere else, which might be the lowest point you can hit in
Which
this
might
style
just
of
be
show.
her.
Maybe.
Confronting her has got to be the only lead they have left. Like,
Yeah.
Or we're gonna save that for 2 more weeks. I
No,
want to
it's
say
really
I like the fight scene in the elevator, but
I
the perception, the point of view for the
Okay.
fight kind of kills it sometimes for me. I like it. I like the idea of it. I like the things they do. It's just like something about it doesn't sit well with me that I
fight
wasn't a big
so
fan.
feels so
Yeah.
weird.
May I throw out why?
Yeah.
They straight up rip fight choreography from Captain America Winter Soldier.
I believe you. I don't have to
It's
double check you. I
from-
believe you.
It's the elevator scene from Captain America Winter Soldier. But it's done through like okay rotoscoping.
hear me out.
So
This
just
It
shit
feels
is
off.
paced so weird.
And-
Like his everything feels like
I'll be honest. This fight
sluggish.
scene could have been a memo.
This
Like, it could've
happened.
just been like, hey, doors close, doors open, and everyone's just on the ground,
This
knocked out.
this
and just, like,
happens sometime in
going-
the show where like the fights feel stiff for no reason. Like I don't know why. Like it feels like, and I think like sometimes I think it's intentional and it's meant to be an aesthetic choice where it's like you slow the movement of the fight to like bring more attention to
be
it.
more like obtainable and like watchable.
But like it's Axel. Let the man just fucking move at Mach 10.
Yeah,
That's what I
think
want
maybe
from
it's-
him.
It's kind of like there's almost like a pause between each action. It feels like where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he
It's
did
a-
this thing. Wait, he does
It's a
this thing.
little too
wait.
slow is I think
Yes.
my problem with it.
Yeah.
But like I like the idea of it and I think visually sometimes it looks cool. Like there are elements to the fight that I think it is cool to look at. I think it's really weird. I mean again, Axel is by far the best part of the show. They're in the fucking elevator. 5 people follow him to the elevator. He walks up to one guy and fucking pulls him closer like he's gonna kiss him and then starts kicking the shit out of him. That's cool.
It's
That's rad.
so
That,
Yeah.
weird.
like, Axel's the
And then he
best
uses
part
that
of this
tie
show.
for the entire fight, which is
Yes.
sick.
My problem with the fight is, what's the plan? It's not like they're all unconscious in the elevator. Some of them are just like on the ground. They're gonna get up and can just call more
It's also
security.
not like they can't just like tell more people, yeah, hey, stop the elevator,
This,
you know?
this felt like they went, guys, we need a fight scene this episode. Where we gonna put it? And they went, elevator. Don't worry about anything else. Because then he gets to the roof and he goes, turn off your security system. To do what? To stop what?
It's a little late now. You're already there, bro.
You like what? What are
Right?
they gonna do? Like, I know they're.
Why does nobody come in the room to arrest him during this period? Like it's not like it's a surprise where he's going.
We need to stop writing hackers talking to each other.
We need to stop
Oh,
writing hackers sitting in front of
God.
the computer going, I'm in, guys. Ah,
They've breached the core. We lost.
I can't. There is a thing this show does. This show has gags that I don't know why we have them. It just feels like they go. We need to have a certain amount of quips
we need an
to be
action
funny
comedy whip.
because Elena explains the Wi-Fi and the core system, and
In English.
who's the other girl?
In English for
Who's the other
Chris.
girl? Chris. And Chris goes.
Fuck it up.
And Chris goes, "What's with the fancy looking logos?" We leave that bit
Hey
there
there, kid.
because
Is
it's
that
a
them-
guy.
Is that them animes?
Like unironically, the best part of this episode is him going, "Yo, are those SoundCloud files?" I go, "What the fuck are we doing here?"
SoundCloud? Why
Why
do you
did
know
you-
SoundCloud?
Why did you pay the rights to use SoundCloud as a property?
Do you have to?
Right,
Do you
you
have
tell
to
me
use the
SoundCloud's
rights to
still
use
around in
SoundCloud?
2085.
Or something.
Honestly, shout out to SoundCloud for outliving Spotify in this universe.
It might.
Or is SoundCloud just such like a forgotten like place right now that it's just like, hey man, they're not gonna sue us for using their namesake. They can-
Maybe,
Right.
maybe for all we know, the only place that you can upload image files as audio is SoundCloud. Maybe that's real. I don't know. I'm not. This is by far
Bro.
my least favorite episode of the week. I can't express
that's
how much I don't care.
You guys don't mind if I ask a tangential question here? Do you guys ever have a song that you only heard on SoundCloud and you can't remember what the fucking name of the song is so you can never find it again?
Oh yeah.
I don't
Yes.
listen to songs on SoundCloud often, so
I
can't say it's
really
happened.
never did, but the way I heard it was like some random Twitch streamer that I was watching who's just a drummer for a band and just was like playing certain songs. I'm like, this song sounds cool. And I listened to it and then it disappeared from my history. Like it was never there. Like I tried looking through, like scrubbing through like my history, like type in SoundCloud. I'm like, what is this fucking song? Where did it go?
Where did you come
No,
So
No, get me
Lazarus.
out.
So Lazarus.
but yeah, this shit was damn it shit ass this week.
from? Lazarus.
X was cool.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah,
I'll give this episode credit. The general broad voice cast is good this episode. I did not feel as rough on the voice cast. Like the guy who is the chairman of Delta is fine. Like his voice is really good actually. And like
It's so funny how the show sets up Elena as this like giga super mega giga hacker who's like, oh, she's crazy. And then she just kind of sits there and watches as shit happens this episode and actually just does nothing.
and falls for every single trap.
Yeah.
yes.
I think it's really funny that like you get the bit where where it's like, oh shit, they've breached the core, and you see all like these code windows pop up. They're all just duplicates of the exact same block of code. It's like 12 lines of code that just is like, this is all again. This is, I believe, C++ code because this is how I would have. It's // This will make the fountains go. Thing. It's like fountain dot water go. Wait, 0.1. Fountain dot water stop. Wait, 0.1. Fountain like that's it. That's every block of thing. It's just that repeated about 100 times. That is the only thing that's happening. Then you see like a block of code under it's like // turn the power off. I'm like, what is a nonsense?
Yeah, John, you're muted. I also just I don't get the idea of like, hey, you know what will bring Skinner out? A fake vaccine. 'Cause he'll care. He'll fall for it. He definitely isn't keeping an eye on this and wouldn't already know. And I get the idea is
Right.
like, okay, he might send somebody. John, you're still muted.
He definitely doesn't have a mole.
Well, but it's like, I get the idea, like, oh, he might send somebody if this is, like, that's the idea of the plan. Is my problem is they talk about it like they're like, we're gonna announce it and Skinner's gonna show up. Like, that they essentially say that.
Yep.
It's like, no, and you know it's not true because you're not looking for Skinner when everyone starts showing up. You're looking for people who might be tied to Skinner. Again, crazy you get absolutely no fucking leads on anything there. Concrete in the episode.
Yeah, we are 5 episodes in, and we are actually just 0 steps closer to finding Skinner.
We might be 5 steps backwards.
Yeah.
They actually might have exhausted
know-
everything.
And know what's crazy? Why don't we try to like trace back the camera that was in his grandma's house? Like, why have we not? Why has that just been
We're
completely
not like
forgotten?
back where this video feed is going.
Yeah, like they're able to do that through like 17 fucking fake node points that they're in whatever Pakistan by the
Istanbul.
embassy.
Doug also delivers a line that is also ridiculous sounding, which is, well, yeah, you would be by the embassy because this would give you good reason to not be tracked by government. It's like, Doug, shut the fuck up. Why do you know this? You're not the hacker or the dude who uses drones. Why do you have this knowledge? They
Also,
didn't
the guy who
have
uses
tech.
drones can't use his drones.
Gets fucking
Ah,
EMP.
they have blockers, and I'm like, then what the fuck are you doing, bro? In this group, like, what is your goal?
I-
Are
Every
you
time
just
he
there to
uses
be
the
like
drones,
the gag
he
character?
just fails at it.
I do really like how they set up everybody's jobs to be, okay, can you use the drones? No. Doug, can you find a way to get a car somewhere? Nope. Chris,
Axel, go get him.
Chris,
Alright.
is there any point that you can jump from a high point to a low point to enter the building? Nope, okay. We're out of options. Those are the only ways to enter a building.
And meanwhile, Axel.
My favorite part is when he walks by the
Not my
couple on
best
the
work,
couch
not
and
my
he's
best
like,
work.
he walks by a couple of the couch. He's like, "What's up, gang?" And they go, "Who the fuck are you?"
What was that? And
He
the
is so
security goes-
silly.
Security just goes, "What the fuck was his plan?" Like, okay.
They're like,
go
no,
get
he
him."
scanned in. Why are they even following? He's supposed to be there. He scanned in. Of course he should.
Because maybe his head is on a fucking swivel constantly as he's scoping the room. He's just like,
Nobody has ever walked in with more aura of "I'm not supposed to be here" than Axel in any other building besides jail.
Yes.
Axel walks into a jail. They go, "Yeah, he belongs here, duh." To be the
He goes, no, I don't. Anyway.
easiest infiltration ever is Axel having
like,
to
no,
go
I
into a
don't.
jail.
Leaves jail again, gets double the jail sentence.
1,000 years.
1,000,000 years in jail. That's what we'll do to punish him.
Make that 2 million.
Make it 2. He's like, want to see me leave jail? Want to see me do it again?
And again, it sucks because he's a cool character, and I really like his monologue, and I like the idea of like it sucks that I took Hapna on a whim, and I am now going to die because it's like I tried marijuana once, and now I'm going to die. It wasn't even.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't even have a good trip. I got a concussion, and it felt bad. He's a mood. It's a shame that the show's not just him.
Marijuana, not even once.
Yeah.
Happened not even once.
Let's talk about Once Upon a Witch. Specifically, no death, because we're just not doing that anymore.
No.
But Once Upon a Witch, we are indeed picking up from last week's episode where the festival, it's a festival, so it's going to last a couple of days. We open with Meg and Sophie on their knees, holding up "I've done bad things" signs like they're fucking pets who have been... Which,
God.
at first you're like, "Wow, Faust, really?" And then Faust looks at them and goes, "Why the fuck are you doing this? I'm not mad." And you go, "Oh, this was Meg's fucking idea." Because Meg's dumb. And Meg's like, "Look, it's fine. All you have to do to make this up is to help Sophie do the parade." And Meg goes, "Oh shit, fuck the parade, I forgot. How could I have forgotten the parade?" And she goes, "We gotta do some work on that." And she goes, "Fine, spend some time with Sophie. I gotta go do stuff." And she goes, "Why me? I'm not socially good at talking to a person who's like talented and successful."
No, that's later. That's later when she has to go play matchmaker.
I thought that wasn't quite then when she does
No,
it.
it's after she met them, and then she goes and does that to
Okay.
put out fireworks, I think, right?
She might be practicing for fireworks here, yeah.
Yeah.
But so they go out and about. Sophie and May go out for a bit again, and they talk a little bit about the town. Talk a little bit about magic, and this is the first point where Sophie kind of goes, "Why are you collecting those tears in a bottle?" And May goes, yeah, that. Yeah, I could tell you. No, not yet. No reason. Not worried about your reaction at all if I tell you. And then they run into Marie, who's just sitting on a bench, because they wanted to find a nice quiet place. They found a nice quiet place and completely didn't notice a woman sitting on the bench with them. It's Marie. She's here because a year ago she had an encounter. She passed the fuck out in the middle of the street and was picked up by a man in a hood who's totally a man and not anything else.
Who had strangely blue, furry, clawed
hands.
hands. Interesting.
Really funny. And they just had a good time chatting and watching the fireworks, and she has never seen him again, but he did mention that he would be back for next year's fireworks. And then Meg goes, "There aren't gonna be any fireworks. The guy who makes the fireworks fucking died. Sorry. We haven't found a solution yet to that. But you shouldn't give up." And Sophie goes, "No, she should probably give up." And Meg goes, "No, this is love. She shouldn't give up. It's important. I will go find this dude for you." And then Meg finds a guy who kind of matches the hooded description and chases him down an alleyway. Which is actually a really rad scene. Where Meg does a bunch of like, she fucking goes into flow motion mode and just fucking jumps on teleportation circles over walls.
She does the fucking shit Weiss does, where she makes
Yeah.
just platforms to jump off of.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she corners this guy, and Sophie shows up. She goes, "Wow, Sophie, that took you a while." And Sophie goes, "Why do you think he kept running into walls?" And she goes, "Oh. Okay. Who are you?" And the guy goes, "My name's Wolf." And we go, "Neat.
Woof.
Okay.
Wolf
Is
click.
it
I want to say it's Woof. That's his
Woof.
name.
WOOF? Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a wolf named
I
Wolf.
thought you said. I thought you said.
No.
I'm like, no.
No,
Have
I
fun.
said wolf glick.
Have fun with that. And Wolf essentially goes, yeah, I know there's gonna be no fireworks. Do you see what I am? I don't. She doesn't need to like see me again. And Meg goes, but she loves you. Marie wants to see you again. He goes, her name's Marie. I'll think about it. And Meg goes, you better. I'm gonna come find you once I figure out this whole fireworks thing. And then she goes back to Marie and she's like, okay, come back here tomorrow night. I will have found him. Don't. Well, I did find him. He will be here. Don't worry about it. You have to believe. And then she goes and practices to make the fireworks.
No, Sean, you missed the best part of that, where she goes, "Would you love him if he was a worm?" And she goes,
Hypothetically.
"Yes, I already knew he was a worm." What do you mean?
That is true.
He wasn't very good at hiding it.
She's like, yeah, he was kind of big and hairy, and like it would have been fine if he wasn't a wolf, but like I'm down for him being a wolf, I guess. And then Sophie comes and talks to Meg as she's practicing at night, and Meg's like, yeah, I love magic. Magic brings people together. It's really neat. It's really cool. And Sophie goes, so why are you collecting those tears? And she goes, oh, I'm gonna die because of a curse. We don't actually get to hear her say it because every time she explains it, we just cut away from it, which I think is really funny. And Sophie goes, that sucks. If magic didn't exist, she wouldn't be cursed. And Meg goes, true, but also, like, the world would be boring without magic. Like, imagine living a regular-ass life, like a loser. That'd be bad. And then Sophie goes, you realize, well, Meg goes, like, magic's more like an ally. And, like, it, like, helps your life out. And Sophie goes, no, actually, I lost my family because of it. I lost everybody who's ever supported me. And now you're telling me my one new friend's gonna fucking die in less than a year? That sucks. And Meg goes, I'm your friend. Yay, you said it. And then Sophie immediately goes, okay, maybe servant. That might be better. Let's, like, we'll dumb you down. I don't like how much you're into this. Stop being into this. And then Meg goes, look, I promise you, I won't die. And everybody in the audience goes, bet? Bitch, bet? It's actually a really nice moment. The OST here is really good. And then they get ready for the parade, where they start bringing out more spirits. Meg increases the size of her familiars to ride them across town. It's really good. I think at this point they're playing the opening, which is really neat that they just I love it when shows just incorporate their
it was
opening.
so fucking
It's
good
rad.
to hear the opening start
Yes.
here.
And then Meg goes, okay, Sophie, you got this. I gotta go make sure Wolf goes and meets Marie. And she does that. And they meet up and she goes, don't worry, there will be fireworks, I promise. And then she goes and starts to set off fireworks. And by that, I mean she sends out the ball of lights that contain the fireworks and Sophie makes them explode. At some point, Meg tires herself out. And Faust shows up and goes, you did a good job. But, did you know Sophie's actually really cracked at fireworks? And she can do, like, 10 times the amount you're doing in, like, a second? And then Sophie fucking shows off.
It actually wasn't that bad. It was like, she's like, you can only do 4,000 fireworks. Sophie can do 6,000 fireworks.
No, it is, you put out 5,000. Sophie can do 5 times that amount.
Yeah.
Is what
So
she
it
actually
said-
said.
Okay, fair enough.
But Faust is like, you're doing good. You're making people happy with magic. That's wonderful. And then Meg wakes up basically hungover because she used too much magic. She falls out of the sky. It's so bad. And then she wakes up and Marie and Wolf are in her house. And she goes, you're not supposed to be here. The festival ended. Like, you can only exist here for, like, another day before, like, your form just disappears. And they go, we decided to make a contract. And Faust goes, cool, let's do this. Are you sure? And they go, yeah. And then Sophie goes, I want to do it. And they go, okay. And so Sophie marries them. Essentially. And then we have a nice... And then we have
running rings.
And then we have a nice conversation before Sophie leaves that's essentially Meg going, hey. Sophie going, hey. We're gonna be friends, and I'm gonna come back here, and you're not gonna be dead, right? And Meg goes, yeah. And she also gets 2 tears out of this. Progress.
Wow,
We
it
did
only
it.
took another week. We got 2 more
We're
tiers.
at like
Come on.
6.
Sean,
in a
you
month and
mentioned
a half.
the most important part after I cut you off, where she asked her friend to watch Sophie for her and hang out with her.
And they have a
And
better
then-
time.
Listen to this, and she's like, listen. And then Sophie goes to the friend and goes, listen, I'm gonna get back at her for this. let's work together to both get back with her at this. And they give her like, she sends her like a picture of them both like sharing like a
Yes.
single straw or like 2 straws and like the same like drink, basically.
Yes.
That classic gag. And she goes,
Hashtag besties.
"No, she stole my wife."
And then Sophie goes, no.
God, Meg's dub VA is fucking perfect.
I need
Oh
to
my
watch the
god,
dub of
does
it.
she kill this fucking role? Holy shit.
So-
It's so good. She's
Here-
just a shitter.
So here's the thing. I really like this episode. I love this episode. I think it does everything perfect for
It's a
Meg and Sophie.
Really good episode.
The only reason I don't have this higher than Motto or any higher at all is because I need next week's episode to do fucking something with this. I need it to actually have Meg get it together. I need her to not fucking do nothing. Because I can't have her have 2 characters who show up and go, it would suck if you die. And her to go, yeah, you know what? That's really good motivation. I should
Yeah.
try to not die. And then forget
Dying
about it
is
for 2 months.
bad.
I need that.
And
I
then
need
6 months have passed. She has 3 more tears.
Yeah, if next week opens and it goes 2 months later and she has 1 more tear, this show's getting voted off.
2 months later, she's lost like 3 tears. They like have a timer on them.
Unless there's a very good reason.
Time magic. She gets 1 more year.
See, I have just chosen to stop caring about the tears
That's fair.
and just go, God, this episode was so fucking good. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
every character was so good. Sophie's fucking smile at that goddamn
Yeah.
smile.
I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
lie.
goodness.
The bit where her voice changes from being monotone to
Mhm.
like actually having emotion.
Yeah, she
that
fucking
got me.
breaks on the whole. Oh, you think magic is like good? No,
Mhm.
I don't want
Also-
you to die.
Dude, the part where she's just like, listen, you're my friend now. You're my only friend. If my friend dies, I'm gonna fucking kill you so hard. I'm gonna
I will
I'm
go
gonna-
to hell.
I'm going to murder you if you die. Okay, listen, you need to understand. I will literally murder you
I mean,
after you die.
I will follow
you.
you to hell.
I did
I'll
say,
follow you to hell and kill you again. Is what she says. I think literally.
I did say it
Yes.
last week. I was like, Meg didn't tell her about it because why would you tell the person who is actively anti-magic and is like wants to end all
How magic is
magic
killing
that
you.
magic is gonna kill you when she's finally started to like you? It'd be like going, hey, what a great first friend I've made ever in my. What do you mean you have 5 months to live on chemo?
What do you mean you're moving next week
Yeah,
across the country into Nicaragua without any telephone service or method of communication?
why would you do this to me?
Damn, that'd be crazy if like your only friend in elementary school moved to Tennessee randomly at the end of the year, and then you didn't have any friends left. And
That would be crazy, John.
That'd be crazy.
That
You
that'd
know,
be
you know what
crazy.
else is
But John-
crazy?
John,
That's
at least
right.
you had baseball.
That didn't happen. You know what? I didn't have
Wow,
baseball with me either,
That's
bro.
baseball.
Wow, monkey baseball.
This show kills me every time Meg's just like standing there and pulls out her phone. Because I
Yes.
always forget that this is just like 2017.
I just love that Meg's
But
just
also
a fucking
there are
wiener.
witches.
It's also just the real world,
Yeah.
but 2017 and they're witches.
Yeah. And she just pulls out her fucking iPhone 14 and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yes.
This episode was, God, the stuff with Marie and Wolf is adorable. All the stuff with Sophie was so good. Like, oh,
There's a weird.
I adored this episode.
There's a way
so
they do
much.
the shot when Marie walks in, where I think it's just that she is like a slightly heavier set character. But the first time she comes on screen, I'm like, is she pregnant? Are we doing another mother bit? And I'm like, okay, no, she's just a furry. Cool.
No,
she's
she's
just
just
in,
mom.
she's just in the furries. Rad. Much better plot point. Approved.
That means she's not gonna be in the future.
No mommies, just furries.
John, you're muted.
So no, that's
I
intentional.
didn't say anything.
Okay.
He's just
My brain lagged. Hang
he
on.
He
just-
certainly mouthed something.
he physically cringed. That's
Yeah, I
what
said.
happened.
Don't
That's
worry.
what I
See,
said.
nothing happened.
Nothing.
Only the ether knows what happened.
Well, Mason,
No, I'm not the ether.
to be hero.
So to be Hero X. So this episode we start off following a different character. It's by the guy. His name is Lindley, I believe. And Lindley He is a stage actor for Isol, who is another hero who is basically a Power Ranger. That's his whole bit.
No, bro, he's
And-
still shocked.
He's Static Shock.
I mean, yeah.
He's Static Shock, but like in the guise of a Power Ranger. In the sense of like there's a stage production. It's very like Sentai based as a hero, like suit of armor, that whole thing.
He wears a mask.
And our main character gets hired to do an event, and this one kid in the audience is like, "You suck, actually. You're so bad at this. Fuck you." And afterwards, he is approached by this kid's older sister, who he has a crush on, works with at his other part-time job. She comes up to him in costume and is like, "Hey, you're really cool. Can I hire you to be friends with my brother? He doesn't have any friends. He's kind of a little shit, and I think he does actually really like you. He's just like he's in that rebellious phase. Can you hang out with him?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." So he hangs out with this kid, and the kid immediately is like, "So you have a crush on my sister, right?" And he's like, "Kid, what?" Kid's like, "Look, you used to be really cool. You used to care about being Esol. Go like apply to be the next Esol. I'll help you get with my sister."
No, it's not that.
Okay, fine.
No, he goes,
I
"You
won't-
either do this,
won't
or I'm gonna
rat."
fucking tell her that you're into
Or
her."
I'm gonna tell her that you're into her. And he's like, "Fine, okay."
You got a deal, kid.
So he tries out to be Esol, and turns out the guy that is also into little boy's sister is on the judging panel for this. And this dude is just like, if you've seen Hunter x Hunter, he's just Harrison Hill. That's all he is. And Lindley ends up leaving the show early. He doesn't want to he doesn't want to see the sister or the little boy.
Also,
He feels ashamed of himself.
he doesn't get picked to move
He
forward.
doesn't get picked.
He gets like to top 3, and then they go, "He doesn't have any trust. Get rid of him. We
Yeah.
don't need him on the show.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then
We
he
don't need some no trust virgin on
and
the
it's,
show."
it's not that he leaves early;
And-
he just leaves in the crowd.
Yeah, he leaves in the crowd and doesn't go and see him.
Oh,
Well, little boy finds him and is like, "Hey man, what the fuck? Like, we waited for you. You didn't come and see us." He's like, "Yeah, no, I didn't feel comfortable seeing you guys. I was ashamed. Don't be around me." And then all of a sudden, the kid gets kidnapped, and Lindley ends up like running after them. Runs into the what is definitely not the LA sewers, or the LA River, and just gets the ever-loving shit beat out of it. Like takes a crowbar to the face multiple times, trying to save this kid. Just gets the crap beat out of him, and finally, eventually, the kid shouts out, "I believe in you, Esol," and he gets a single trust and goes sicko mode and just starts beating the shit out of these guys. Just like breaks the crowbar, throws this guy through a wall, like the whole 9 yards. Hello, Amber.
I'm being attacked.
And that's like, and after that, I believe that's all we really get of this episode is just he has trust, has these Static Shock powers now, and has saved this boy.
We do
and
end
he does.
Yeah.
He does also meet the sister and take off the helmet.
because he gets called out by the guy, who's
by
here,
the guy
who's here looking for him now that he has.
Mhm.
So
And that's about it.
This guy's the sketchiest motherfucker that has ever existed.
Yes.
I actually,
So sick.
I actually,
It's a coincidence when it happens once. It's not a coincidence the third time.
I think it's a
Which
de-
guy?
I actually think he's a decoy. I don't think he matters. I actually think he's probably a fine guy. I don't think he is, because I think you're meant to view him the same way that Yang Cheng feels about him, which is, oh, he's always
Oh, it's-
here. Yeah,
I feel-
Not limited.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's like
It's Young Chen.
he's like the guy
Sorry.
that, like in Spider-Man.
You said Lingly. I was like, is this a
Was
bit?
It's no. I'm so used to hearing both
Yes.
of those names that I just did
Yang
not.
Chen,
I
right?
Yeah,
straight
Young
up.
Cheng.
It's Young Chen. No.
So I think his buddy, oh, what's his fucking name? Is it Shang Cho. I think that's what it is. He the other guy, he reminds me of like the Spider-Man, where it's like Spider-Man 2, where like the guy that becomes Green Goblin,
Yeah.
who's just like friends with the main character, who's not necessarily, it doesn't feel like he's necessarily like
Osborn?
after the
Yeah.
girl. He's just always in
There.
the right place at the right time that makes it seem like it. Because he doesn't really make any like direct advances on her. He's just like, hey, let's go see the concert together. I know you're
He-
into it. Like,
He doesn't even do that. He goes, I have VIP tickets and enough that she can give one to him.
yeah, you guys should go.
Like
with
he
them.
had, so it doesn't even necessarily imply that he's like, come with me to the show. Bring
He
your-
even has her ask him, because
Yeah.
he could have asked both of them together. He could be like, hey, bro, I got these tickets. Do you guys all want to go? You know, like a group. Instead, he tells her and
We
then has
don't-
her ask him. Like,
We don't know, right? We just know she gets the tickets from him. John, you and I are on the same page.
I just
I-
think he's a homie trying to hook his brother up. Like,
I wouldn't go that far, but like because I feel like the show is setting up where it's like,
Oh,
oh,
sure.
he is also there when he doesn't make the top 3 cut. I don't think he has any say in the matter because we see behind the scenes they say he has no trust value, cut him. Like
Yeah.
so it just
Yep.
it constantly it's
well, that
to
wasn't him
portray-
that said it. It was the guy who was at the head, right?
yeah, whoever's running it. That's what I mean.
Yeah. He was
Um,
one of like the judges, but like he didn't get the final say. He
Yeah.
knew that his buddy was in the contest, so he was trying to like probably
he's
help
he's
vote for him,
just
but like
he's just
he
a
got overruled.
character who is here to set up. He's just the character who's meant to be everything your main character's
Yeah.
not. Like
as a motivation
has-
for him.
he has the job. He can easily come and
He's
talk
got
to the girl.
money, he's got the connections.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think
he's
he's
got
gonna.
success
Now,
and
if they
fame.
take him in a direction where he will become a problem, it's possible. Like, it's possible you turn the guy who actually had no beef with you into someone who has beef with you because that's just the way it goes. Like,
Who's, like,
superhero
moving in the
stories.
shadows and stuff.
Yeah, superhero stories like to do that where, like, you made a villain out of a person without intentionally making a villain. Like, they were never meant to be, but you made him one.
Yeah.
My problem is that I'm not sold on Yang Cheng as a main character. I think he's a weaker version of where we just came from. Like,
Well, let's
Yeah.
see. Let's see.
no, I want to give him
I don't-
time. Like, the problem is
Like,
this is a reset, so like it's
a different
tough.
story, but
Yeah.
also it's interesting because he's like going. His like, what's his brand going to be? Is the question too, right?
Well,
'Cause it's
the
like,
next E Soul probably.
So does that like take power from Esol? Because it seems like his powers are very like similar with the electricity
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, and obviously everyone's gonna compare with him because he had the outfit on and stuff. So it's like,
I'm
Where-
trying to think of a good example of this that would be like accurate for a comic of like you actively have multiple of the hero.
My question
is,
Green,
like,
Lan- Green,
is
Green
Spider-
Lantern.
Superman. Trust values, but, like, I can
Lantern,
trust-
Superman.
But like Green Lantern's like
Spider-Man, anyone could be a spider.
but yes, but like in this particular case of like you have multiple Green Lanterns that have the same
see, I'm
power
wondering if
system
this is
in
like
a
Kingdom
setting.
Hearts 358 Days Over 2, where it's like
Maybe.
when
You have
one
two
gets stronger, the
Soras.
other gets weaker, kind of thing. And it's like, can I have trust in Sean and Michael and Mason, or do I have to pick one of the three to dedicate my like personal trust to? Right.
What's really
Like, how-
interesting is right now his trust is only coming to him as a person, not necessarily to Esol, right? Like he hasn't gotten to the point yet where he is Esol. We haven't gotten to that. Like next week's episode will really decide where we're going plot wise with this point.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that we know he's going to show up and kill Moon.
I mean, I
When
kid
we're
does
done.
really call him Esol at the end too.
Well, yeah, but
But,
he is the one who
um,
shows up and kills Moon. I'm pretty sure.
I'm fairly certain. Yeah.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure it's the Esol design who does
Think
show
so.
up.
Well, yeah. That's the
No,
thing. So
I'll go back
we
to
don't
check.
we don't know which Esol does it.
Yeah, it might not be any of them.
And I gue-
It
and I
could
gue-
be
and
a
I guess
fake.
yeah. Again,
We don't know.
and that's why he keeps the mask on. Something. It could be anyone under the mask.
I just think Lin Liang was a much
Young Chen.
no.
Or-
I
No,
I
Lin Lei.
think Lin
Lin
yeah, I
Lei.
think Lin Ling was a much easier and immediate hook character. And I think they have a lot of similarities in that they're both people who are down on their luck, who are kind of like, I got nowhere else to go. Like, I don't have the thing you need to push through society. but I feel like he was a better character than Young Cheng is, and it also could just be that I'm not necessarily a big fan of the I want to be the guy who gets the girl and who walks away at every turn. Like at some point that trope really wears on me, and I'm done with it. And I like
just looked back.
Nagatoro.
It totally is like this character design that
Yeah.
does kill Moon in that
Yeah.
thing. So I'm like, are we framing him
Which-
to be like
This makes
the
sense
villain.
because we have to jump, like we jumped
Like,
from
oh, no.
there to here for a reason. Was because now we have to learn about the character who
with the
came and
setup
killed
like
Moon.
how this all happened? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, shouts to Hatsune. I mean, Lucky Cyan. So, who's
True.
also an OP, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna
So-
get more time with them.
Also a hero. Let's go. Base. Dude, honestly, that's Amber's hero. She would put her trust in Hatsune Miku. I just
Yeah.
get nods. Yep.
I think
yeah.
I think
That's
the
in the shrine.
here's where I fall. The fight scene and the
Also,
sequence
all
of
Miku's
the
on
card
that shelf. Every single one of those figures. And
OMG,
also that
Miku.
plushie over there, and the one on top of there.
Miku.
is the bike chase a little unbelievable? Yes. Are they driving a broken down van? Also yes. So maybe you get a little bit of leeway there.
Also, he's got a cool uncle.
Yeah, his uncle's rad.
Who owns a
I will
smoothie
give
shop or
I
bubble
will-
tea shop.
I will give this credit. If this came first, I would probably be just as interested in this as I was with the
Mhm.
with the nice stuff. It's just that this is coming after, so it's weird. Like,
And it's leading you on such a cliffhanger that you're like,
yeah,
what the fuck, show?
is-
You can't
this
just
is-
like
this
cut
is-
and just be like, anyways, back in time.
this is To Be Hero X's worst episode, and it's still like an 8 out of 10 episode. Like, it's still
Yeah.
really good. It's just that like now I have to distance and
You
get
have to
into this
reset
story.
and like root for another like
yeah,
upcoming story, right?
Yeah, you have to build your trust in the new protagonist.
yeah.
And then
That's,
like
like, the
replay
whole
the ED
thing.
again because the ED is really hype when it plays at the end of the episode. It just makes you go, oh god, I gotta watch the next fucking episode.
No OP, right?
Not
No.
this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, no, we do not yet, and there should never plays during this episode.
Also
Yeah,
sick, by the way.
No, but I mean like the fight scene's super cool, super rad. It's done really well. The dynamic
Cut
with
back
the
like his childhood. With
dynamic
figure
with the
and stuff.
kids really cool. I do just think like he has too many things that I've seen done too many times that like I don't care about him until we finally have gotten this now. Now that we've got the hero hook,
Yeah.
I care. I don't really care about his parents being murdered. Sorry, we've been down this road too many times. You're not Batman, I don't care.
It was very funny. They started just his parents dying, and I'm like, damn, it's Batman.
Every
They are
time
trying
Right.
to make him Batman though because of like the suit thing. We're like, we gotta put LED lights, make your own suit, make it cool again.
but I really
Shouts to the kid, by the way.
the thing
This
I really
kid's
do like
awesome.
is the kid being like, you were cooler when you didn't care about the tech and you cared about like the ideals that Esol had. Like I could tell by watching you that you were passionate and you wanted to be a hero, and that made me want to be a hero, and that's cool. And he's like, now you just do it. That's good. I like that. I like where it
Now you're
goes.
just doing it for the bag.
I am not I cannot express to you how much I would have just preferred the car door to open up, the kid to run out, and her to just see him unmasked in the car. That I think that would have been far more enjoyable than having him once again put the mask on, walk away, and then take it out because he gets called out and he has no
Yeah.
choice. Like I'd rather it be circumstantial with no outside player that he gets discovered than someone forced the situation to happen.
His friends being like, hey, how about we have a nice little conversation here, bud?
Yeah, it's especially weird because like they open the door with him and he has the mask off. Then she has to look at her brother, but not look up another 27 degrees to see him in the
To be
car.
fair, that is like her sibling.
Yeah,
That's
her
totally
priority
reasonable
is
for
her
to be
brother
so
who was
locked in on
kidnapped.
that she doesn't even fucking
Peripheral
care.
vision.
Doesn't tunnel vision, man.
It's fair. No, I
That's
get
like-
it.
I give her the pass for tunnel vision on that one, but yeah.
I can't believe this is all gonna accumulate into one big tournament arc at the end. That's crazy.
I can't wait till his friend becomes the Green Goblin at the end of this arc.
It's very possible we are gonna hit that plot point. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, you think you're the real E-Soul.
I mean, like, the cool thing I will say about this show is that you can get away with doing a lot of, like, the really tropish stuff because you're in the superhero genre. Like, so seeing the main character do the side job where he bikes around and delivers food because he's hooked up with the job through family. Like, I don't got a problem with that because
I'm
that's
telling
just
you, it writes itself.
superhero,
It's
dude.
just Spider-Man 2, Mason. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is.
It feels like it, right?
There is, I mean,
Yeah. Which is a very good compliment to have because Spider-Man 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever made.
for what it's
So
worth.
when does she die?
For what it's worth, I think Nice is
That's
very
Spider-Man
super.
3, isn't it?
What was that?
When did Mary Jane die? It's Spider-Man 3, right?
Mary Jane doesn't die.
Who's the one that dies?
That's Gwen Stacy in Amazing
That's-
Spider-Man 2.
That's right. Because the clock tower scene, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's right because they're like broken up at the time. That's right. Yep.
No, I think Nice is very Superman coded, and
I don't
like
know Superman
yes.
stuff, so
Well,
or
like-
superhero stuff.
like the scene of Nice holding Moon floating down is very Superman loses Lois Lane coded in like the Injustice plotline.
it was so cool,
Yes.
Like and like a lot of the things about like Nice's like the structure of Nice of like you have the guy who is
though.
perfection,
Mr. Perfect.
who everybody thinks will always be able to succeed, is the definition of the Superman problem, right? Is that Superman is perfect. Like, people just think he is the Man of Steel. Like, that's the whole idea of that. And you do also get, like, the Firm Man plot point there, which is a literal Man of Steel in the plot line.
No, Furman is just Steel. He's just
Yes.
John Henry Irons.
Well, yes, but, like, I mean, like, there's enough Superman parallels in that first arc that, like, that's your Superman, now you do your Spider-Man. And,
No, he's
like,
just any mid-50s like squatter.
because like even the idea of like him working in like an advertising agency is almost to the
It's the
point of
Daily
like
Planet.
of the Daily Planet, right? So like there are enough similarities of it.
It's a lot. It's very Spider-Man, except like with electric powers. The more we talk about it, the more it's like. It's
Hey,
just
and don't
Spider-Man.
forget we got a Spider-Man with electric powers. It's real. It
Yeah,
exists.
it's just Miles.
It's all just Miles.
Like I would
Hey.
if every one of these just winds up being a riff off a major superhero, that's dope as fuck.
I'm so in.
God. Shout out to China for just copying our comics, but making it look fucking sick in anime form.
Look, it's a good parody satire.
Hey, I'm
It
fine
just
with it.
works.
I'm not complaining. I'm just like, it's
As
fun.
someone whose life is very, very dominated by superhero media right now, it's a very good breath of fresh air.
Shouts to him for just like going out to meet her, by the way, and talk about it. Because I was just scrolling through the VOD to like look for stuff, and like he's just sitting there drinking underneath the mask and just like making hand gestures like a fucking like Paris mime. Oh, okay. My funniest thing, by the way, speaking of Paris, is I was watching RT Games video of him playing through all of Expedition 33. And it cuts on the shot of like this distorted like Eiffel Tower in the opening. And he just goes, "Wow, Paris has never looked better." Classic English behavior. France is great. Or Irish rather.
Michael's conjuring a name.
Correct. Now it's the problem of really bad at typing.
Michael, how the fuck did you know? That's crazy. What is
What?
this? What is this call out post?
What do you mean?
Is it Sean's only gonna vote for Lazarus because he wants to watch the least?
Michael, what's your name?
It was quickly. Insert a joke about Lazarus getting slain.
My name
Yeah.
immediately right above his. I don't know, man. I'm voting Lazarus though.
I think mine was great.
They're all good. So Shows that are not getting voted off. Full saves. They're safe. And no one has any issues with them. Cinderella Grey, Vigilantes, Rocket's Lady's Modesty, Once Upon a Witch's Death, To Be Hero. Show with 1 slay, Gundam, Mono. Show with 2 slays, Witch Watch. Full 4 slay vote off on Lazarus this week. Oh yeah, there you go. I am really sad.
I almost
about
voted
this.
for Gundam.
I
but,
thought
like,
about voting Witch Watch, but I didn't. Or did
yeah,
I?
I'm like, I could
Maybe
vote
I
a
did.
second
I
thing,
might have voted
but
Witch
I want
Watch
Lazarus gone. So I don't want to risk
Yeah.
it somehow getting some weird tie bullshit.
I couldn't. I was fine with either Witch Watch or Lazarus going, so I voted both.
Yeah, fuck you,
See,
John.
I'm still waiting for a
What?
bit in Witch Watch that I don't think we're getting until episode like 9. I don't remember where it happens, but there's a bit I really want to see.
What did I do?
No, nothing. I'm just saying. We're just saying Witch Watch or Lazarus. Fuck you, apparently.
That's okay. I'm used to it, man.
I mean, here's
Pick
what.
better shows. I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. You know what? There's 3
Man.
episodes of Lazarus out. Maybe I'll binge
No,
them
that
and
was-
see if they piss
that's
me
not
off
what
the same amount. And if they do, I just won't finish it. Maybe binging 3 episodes of Lazarus will make me turn around on it. Probably not.
Yeah, maybe.
This is a show I feel like I
Guys,
want.
Depends on how this goes, because probably I'm not fucking doing
Guys,
that.
can we just mutually agree to vote off To Be Hero X just so you can watch more of next week?
No, there's so much of it. We have so much time.
It's a 24 episoder, dude. I'm
I know.
excited.
This
Ugh.
Lazarus might be a show I have to finish so that I can feel confident about my opinions about it. Unfortunately, where like,
That's the worst.
because if I'm like, oh yeah, I stopped watching after episode 5 because I couldn't fucking stand it, and
Like,
everyone
bro, you
go
didn't
and
get to the
everyone
sick
yeah everyone
plot
goes it
twist
gets
where-
so much better, and I'm like, does
Episode
it?
6 was so good.
Yo, you missed the part in episode 6 where Skinner literally skinned a guy? And wore his skin.
What do you mean? What do you mean a
This
bad
guy-
What do you mean a bad CG bear walked up and Axel fist fought it? What?
Dude,
What?
you missed the scene where Axel literally just like punched the guy through another guy.
What do you mean Axel, Doug, and Leland all went to a sauna and talked about dicks for 30 minutes?
Dude, you guys should have seen the size of Doug's. wang
Guys, like
chan.
episode 12, like a crazy 20-minute sex.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past this man.
But wait, you missed the time skip?
But dude, what about the
Wait,
episode? What about the
You didn't get to the
episode?
second time skip?
What about the episode where Chris
It's like
gets
3
really
days
in?
later.
What about when Chris gets really into crypto and gets possessed by a devil? By the crypto devil. God gets angry that Chris is in the crypto and we gotta save her. It's my
And you
favorite
missed the
Digimon.
part
My
where-
favorite
where the-
Digimon ghost story.
Where the
ghost game
Americanized
episode.
Donald Trump figure comes in and spends a lot of money to try to save the day and fails.
I'm gonna stop this podcast before I say something.
Wait, guys, the episode 17 flashback where I realized they were all connected to Skinner this whole
They're
time.
not even 17 episodes.
No, guys, actually, we're just watching
This
it
was
out
a
of order.
24
You
as
actually,
well. Wait a second. Is
you
it
actually
actually
gotta start
12?
from episode 7 first to understand like the real reasoning behind episodes 1 through 6, guys.
Yeah, you got
Skinner-
to know, yeah, but chronologically 7 happens first. You watch 7, then go back to 5. Then
Skinner-
you realize we're actually watching the whole thing
Skinner walks
upside
in.
down.
Skinner walks in and goes, "I'm all your daddies," and Axel goes, "You're not my daddy," and that's how that
Yeah,
bit
it's
goes.
supposed to
you guys,
convert-
you guys missed
You were
where they
actually
brought up.
supposed to convert it to a PDF file.
This is why we're
Guys,
voting
this
this
part-
show off. We are voting this show off so that we can stop the bits.
Guys, you missed the part where they brought in the classic gag of beep, beep. So
Okay, guys, I've muted everybody else. I hope you have a wonderful night. I'll see you back here.